A wasted Western week has left the defending National League champions reeling. Where a year ago they always found a way to win, 1994 has been filled with gut-wrenching one-run losses. The coast-to-coast venture anything but a success. Now the West has come east and the Phillies have payback on their minds. To right the ship, they must begin against the powerhouse by the Bay. It's Bonds, it's Williams, it's the best of the West. Next. The Phillies in desperate need of a W. They come home to face the first-place team in the Western Division, the San Francisco Giants, and it's coming up next. Hi again, everybody. I'm Larry Rosen. Welcome back to the 400 level. The applause in the background as the Philadelphia Phillies take the field. Some ominous skies, but it looks like we're going to get the game in and get it done pretty much on time unless the rains begin. In terms of the pitching matchup, the Phillies face a guy by the name of Brian Hickerson, who has come out of the bullpen to be a very good starting pitcher. He has never lost to the Phils, 4-0. Ben Rivera, just one win on the season. He gets the nod for Jim Fregosi tonight. And with their thoughts as we get set for play-by-play, here's Todd Callis and Chris Wheeler. Gentlemen.
All right, thank you very much, Larry. As you can see behind us, the field is a little wet, especially in the outfield as we get ready for play tonight. Phillies and the Giants opening up this series, and Wheels, the Phils will get to see something that's been unusual lately. A southpaw going against them on the mound.
Yeah, they were kind of happy to see that, Todd. They've seen Smiley twice and Browning once so far this year, and that's it. In 21 games, only 3 left-handed starters. Actually only 2, but 3 times have they seen a left-hander. It gives Jim Fregosi a chance for sure to play in Cavilla and West Chamberlain. Of course, Batista's going to play tonight because Stocker is injured, but I think they're kind of looking forward to seeing a left-hander for a change because, let's face it, they haven't hit the right-handers real well so far.
No, they haven't. We're going to take a look at those full lineups and the first pitch as well if you stay with us on Prism. Phillies and the Giants coming up next.
New Huntington Valley Acura, you'll find the largest selection of pre-owned one-owner trade-ins in the area. Low-mileage Acuras, Infinitis, BMWs, Mazdas, Hondas, family sedans, exotics, and even trucks. All covered by our famous used car umbrella policy. If after 48 hours you don't like it, we take it back. No questions asked. Stop by and see how at Huntington Valley Acura you're covered because our used cars are.
The most unexpected friendship of the season.
I gotta look out for Willie, and I gotta do what's best for him. Understand?
If we don't get Willie into water soon, he's gonna die. Nobody steals a whale.
We gotta hurry! He's not doing so good!
Don't let that whale get away!
Go, Willie, go!
The greatest adventure of the year. Free Willy.
You deserve a life of luxury, so Cadillac invites you to be a part of our Life of Luxury sweepstakes. Come see the 94 Cadillacs and register to win a luxurious weekend for 2 at the world-renowned Greenbrier, America's resort. When you do, take advantage of Cadillac's Life of Luxury offer. Lease a Seville SLS for only $499 a month, 24 months, $2,200 down.
Hi, I'm Sam Sneed. I'm here at the Greenbrier, and I'll give you a few tips on golf. Just get to your Cadillac dealer soon.
Tonight's Prism exclusive, the Phillies and the San Francisco Giants, is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light. Head for the mountains of Bush. By your local Sherwin-Williams paint stores. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams, an official sponsor of Major League Baseball. By Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. The Yellow Pages 9 out of 10 people use. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. By Cento. Trust your family with our family. By Coca-Cola. Always a hit, always Coca-Cola. By Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies. By the Pennsylvania State Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. By Texaco. Introducing new clean system-free gasoline from Texaco. Give us 60 days and watch what can happen. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. For 56 years, the health insurance company you can lean on. Stay tuned, starting lineups are next.
Cowboy, still a modern day hero, standing up for what's right. as he rides across this land. He still earns every dollar to pass through his hands. So here's to the cowboy as he heads for the mountains. No place he'd rather be than right here. So come on along and head for the mountains of Bush.
People come in and say, why 5 grades of gasoline? I tell them offering only 3 grades would be like selling suits in small, medium, and large. Some people would get a good fit. Some could use a little tailoring. So if you want to know why we give you all these choices, think about the guy who needs 41 long and picture him wearing a 39 short.
This Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra comes with airbag, anti-lock brakes, and all this popular equipment for only $14,195. Don't be so sure. We've just added a beautiful simulated convertible top to a limited number of these Sierras for our special Liberty Edition. Still just $14,195. Yeah, and it's also on the Liberty Edition Cutlass Sierra. Limited quantities for a limited time. It's your money.
Back at the vet, you see some umbrellas popped up around the stadium as we take a look at current conditions here at Veterans Stadium. There are the threatening skies. Those are pretty accurate forecasts because it is raining right now. Thunderstorms expected off and on, at least in the early part of the ball game. They are going to get this game underway under a light rain. It is time now for your Sherwin-Williams starting lineups. First of all, for the visiting Giants, Darren Lewis in center field, Robbie Thompson at second base, Todd Benziger, the first baseman, Matt Williams is at third, Barry Bonds in left field, Dave Martinez in right, Royce Clayton the shortstop, Kurt Manwaring behind the plate, and Brian Hickerson on the mound.
Defensively tonight, the Phillies are going to go with Pete Incaviglia, Lenny Dykstra, and Wes Chamberlain left to right in the outfield. Around the horn with Dave Hollins, Kim Baptiste for Kevin Stocker out with a sore wrist, Mariano Duncan at second, John Kruk, the first baseman, Aaron Dalton behind the plate, and on the mound, Ben Rivera.
Big Ben this year has 1 win, 1 loss. His ERA is around 6.5. Last start had some trouble at San Diego in that Phil's 8-2 defeat at Jack Murphy Stadium. He allowed a couple of runs in the first, 2 more in the 4th inning, allowed 5 overall before he left that ball game after a total of 4 innings. You can see the rain is falling here at the vet, but they are going to get this thing underway right around the starting time. Ed Rapuano Jr., the home plate umpire. Once the game gets underway, it's in his hands. Frank Pulley, of course. You can see the rain against the backdrop. Normally when you watch the television monitors, it's a little bit harder looking on the TV than it is actually here, but it's a steady rain, Wheels.
Right, and as you said, Mike DiMuzio out there with the umpires, and Michael gets the up-to-date forecast from the Phillies, from Dave Montgomery, who's talked to the Weather Bureau, and they decide whether or not they can begin the game or not. And evidently the rain is not forecast to be that heavy, so they're going to try and start this one and play through it for a while.
And the ground crew is poised and ready in the visiting dugout. Here's Darren Lewis to lead things off for the Giants, batting at .263 on the season. Big Ben Rivera. 5th start of the year. He starts it off with a ball up high, 1-0.
Phillies have to wonder what's going on, Todd, because it rained the whole time they were in Los Angeles. And here they are back here at the vet tonight, and on a miserable night right out of the chute.
It is coming down a little bit harder right now. That pitch misses 2-0. This is a hard rain, and that's going to be it. 2 pitches into the ball game. They're going to put the tarpaulin on. It started out as a light rain, became a heavy rain, and that was enough. The tarpaulin heads out to the field. The ground crew will be coming out. Big Ben got all of 2 pitches in, and Wheels, this is not only an important series and an important homestand for the Phillies, but also an important start for Ben Rivera.
Very important, Todd, because he just has not been throwing the ball well. His velocity has been way down, and he got away with it the one game that we did here on Prism because his curveball was so good. But the other night at San Diego, he wasn't able to get his curveball over. Did not have a good fastball and really struggled in that game. And they need to get him going. Obviously, the starting pitching is very important for them.
We discussed the state of the team a little bit in the pregame show, and especially with the manager, Jim Fregosi, coming off that really disappointing road trip out on the West Coast. Is it time for fans to have some serious concern, or is it still April, almost May, a little bit early to panic?
Well, concern and panic are different, I think. Concern, yeah, obviously. You know, they're 13 losses. You know, they could set a a record for the club. There's Frank Pulley, the crew chief, talking to Jim Fregosi, and that's always animated with those two. They spent a lot of time together in spring training. So, yeah, sure, there's concern, absolutely, because they're not playing very well, and they're in a division with the Atlanta Braves. You know, we talked earlier about how much better it is for I have to comment on what's happening right there. That's John Vukovich right there, pretending as if he's dancing, and the reason is because there was a story in USA Today a few weeks ago called Frank Pulley the Fred Astaire of home plate umpires, because he dances a lot behind the plate, and they couldn't wait to see Frank tonight to get on him. So that's what John Vukovich was just doing, dancing. There's Frank right there. In fact, we were giving Frank a little bit of that from the booth here before the game, and he was dancing for us at home plate a little bit. Panic, Todd? No, I don't think so. You know, you do have the wild card thing sitting out there this year, which is kind of nice considering the shape the Phillies are in right now. So that could help them out before the year is over, and of course they could still win the division, who knows. But you don't want to be 7 games behind the Atlanta Braves this early, absolutely not, and everyone's concerned about that, yes, because his team is not playing very well.
1-run loss is also a little more disheartening than when you lose 6-2 or 5-1, something like that.
Sure, and that's something that Jim talked about. There's Tommy Green and Mark Anderson, the Phil's trainer. Jim talked about that prior to the game with us. You know, I said, is that something you look at and determine what kind of a ball club you have? And he said, absolutely. Because you need to win those close games. Those games show what kind of bullpen you have, what kind of starting pitching you have, and how your clutch hitting is. And it's very, very important to win 1-run games, and they have lost 9 of them already. Curt Schilling has not won a game. Tommy Green has not won a game, and it's April 29th. So how in the world can you expect this team to be off to a good start when those two haven't won a game?
Dave Montgomery on the phones, obviously getting the latest weather report. As you can see, the rain is following in front of Monty, and we are in a rain delay at the start of the ball game. Nothing new for Brian Hickerson. Last time he started a game up at Shea Stadium, an hour and 44-minute rain delay. We're in a rain delay right now, 2 pitches into the ball game. We'll come back a little bit later on. Right now, let's join the April edition of Broad and Patterson right here on Prism Sports.
On Broad and Patterson, the curtain has come up for the defending National League champions, primed for the role of the hunted in the East. The Flyers have found a silver lining for a season filled with unmet expectations, and this Swedish import is here to stay. Dreamy days of wonder. The Suncoast is the backdrop for the men who would be Phillies. We've got the unforgettable, the unbelievable, and more next from Broad and Patterson.
We're a stronger club. We could be better than we were last year.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Larry Rose, and welcome to a special edition of Broad and Patterson. We're at Jack Russell Stadium, Clearwater, Florida, the home of the defending National League champion Philadelphia Phillies. And yes, indeed, there's a bit more of a bounce in the step this spring. The Phillies at last are champions. But in the economy of the 90s, keeping the nucleus of a baseball team together is oh so difficult. Lee Thomas has managed to do just that. Plus, he's tinkered with the near perfection, and to a man, these Phillies believe in '94, they're even better.
This is baseball paradise. The time, the place, the field. The 1994 Philadelphia Phillies have mastered the sense of calm, of confidence. It is not born of a perfect spring scenario as it was a year ago. This spring has been filled with nearly daily tribulations. But this group of pinstripers draws strength from one another and moves into this championship season with faith and with trust. It begins with an unusual baseball relationship.
Loyalty, and I trust him as much as I do anybody. I would turn my back on him at any time and know I didn't have to worry about anything.
Lee Thomas on Jim Fregosi, boss to employee, but more best friends. Trust is not often heard in today's world of baseball, not in the front office, not in the clubhouse. But if there's one crucial carryover, it is a sense that they are in it together.
That's all part of it, managing today's game. Players got to trust you. They have to respect your ability to be able to do your job. I don't expect a player to adjust to my type of system. It's up to me as the manager to adjust to them so that I can get the best out of their ability.
And that is the living legacy of '93, placing players of extraordinary but limited ability into positions where they can succeed. Case in point, the outfield platoons, which will again allow Pete Incaviglia to hammer left-handed pitching, to find the spots for the sweet swing of Jim Eisenreich, once a cast-off, now a perfect fit. At second base, where the offensive skill of Mariano Duncan has appeared to grow in equal pace with the defensive prowess of Mickey Morandini. A team filled with role players who know their roles, who trust their skipper, who rely on the rock-solid nucleus. The Colossus of '93 may have been mildly eroded. Terry Mulholland, who typified the strong, silent element of the Phillies clubhouse, is gone. Illness will keep linchpin John Kruk out of uniform in the early going, but beyond that is a highly familiar cast of leading men. Lenny Dykstra is now 31 years old, the most productive leadoff man in baseball, completely in charge of his game. He will still be the bellwether for the '94 Phillies. Darren Daulton has seen and lived it all in baseball. The 7 knee surgeries, the bluebirds of his 20s, the accolades of his 30s. This spring has allowed Dutch time to stand aside, and he likes what he sees.
Last year, you know, we had such a different culmination of guys coming from other clubs, and were put together. It was a little more upbeat, and this year I think everybody's more comfortable with being around the guys that you were with last year. We didn't lose that much, and you know, there's a couple of things that have happened with John this spring and whatnot that has caused some confusion, and you know, and some guys are worried, but other than that, it's, you know, it's pretty comfortable around here.
Yet it has not been the most comfortable spring of the career of the big horse, Curt Schilling. He's expected to step into the role of the ace, fresh off his memorable postseason. The eyes of the Phillies are sharply focused on Schilling. Often, teams that emerge from the pack to claim the prize can point to those proverbial career years. But for the '94 Phillies, they can look forward with key young players with room to grow. Most notably, the intensity master, third baseman Dave Hollins, who struggled through much of '93 with a right hand that resembled a meat hook. Yet Hollins appears to have a deep personal need to be the very best, and '94 could be that breakout season. As Wes Chamberlain turns 28, he is no longer the man-child with promise. This spring, his emergence as an everyday player was a constant topic. He still never played a full season and opens the year nursing a surgically repaired knee. Kevin Stocker a year ago was the element that propelled a good team over the top. His half-season was a revelation, but Stocker still committed an error every 5 games and must grow into the leadership position required of a big league shortstop.
I used to be a big goal setter. Now I've kind of slowed down a little bit. I still set goals, but they're different kind of goals. I never set number goals. I think that they're more or less you're disappointed most of the time. I try to set goals as coming out and working hard every day is a good goal, or making sure I'm on time every day. Things that I can control, those are the type of goals that I'll set.
Control is a key word for another Philly with higher expectations. Big Ben Rivera won 13 games last season. That's the upside. Flip the coin and you see an ERA over 5 and too many walks. The Phillies believe that Rivera has the arm and the repertoire to be a dominant force. He must be if the Phillies wish to return to postseason play. Player turnover is a given in today's baseball. For the Phillies, those changes will be most visible down the right field line in the bullpen. They look like a collection of power forwards, and they are power pitchers. Bobby Munoz, the gemstone of the Mulholland deal. Jeff Juden, called obstinate in Houston, he's been a pleasure for Padres. But the key additions could be one of the best lefty-righty combos in baseball. Norm Charlton, a relatively inexpensive risk coming off arm surgery,
and the comebacking Doug Jones, the other half of the Mitch Williams trade. They appear to be the perfect tandem. Jones is the master of the circle change, who leaves hitters shaking their heads.
It's a lot of fun to see a guy frustrate himself swinging at a pitch that seems like anybody can hit. But I tell you, the best satisfaction I get is when I can throw a fastball by somebody, because I've done it quite a bit, because they're caught in the middle trying to protect for a changeup, and gives me an opportunity to sneak an 82-mile-an-hour fastball by him. It looks like 105.
Yes, the world of baseball is not always what it appears to be. These Phillies can no longer be viewed as that gutty group of outcasts who took the world by storm. Their strength is within, the wagons are circled, the curtain is up. And stay with us. Next from Broad and Patterson, the moment is still crystal clear for the Flyers' original hero. A sweet Swede comes to stay. That plus the ever-popular Clearwater Dreamscape next at Broad and Patterson.
Now, John Hughes brings one of your all-time favorite cartoon characters to life.
Smile.
For a whole new generation to discover.
Don't embarrass me.
You'll love Mr. Wilson.
That kid, he's a menace.
Mrs. Wilson. The Mitchells. Margaret.
We could bury you alive. I could pound you up today.
Joey. Switchblade Sam. And a menace named Dennis.
Kids are kids. You have to play by their rules. You have to roll with the punches. You have to expect the unexpected.
Dennis the Menace.
That's me.
A classic kid. A classic comedy.
21 years ago, a lifetime in sports, a memory for all the ages. The expansion Flyers were about to come of age on Spectrum Ice. Now immortalized in bronze to greet Spectrum fans for all times, the goal off the stick of Gary Dornhofer.
You know, in any sudden death overtime, a lot of things can happen. I think you visualize that maybe one day you would be the hero of a game and score an overtime goal. I know that we were losing the series 2-1, so it was an important game for us to win. And what I remember about the play is being on my backhand, having Reed from Minnesota draped over me, and a backhand puck going by Cesar Maniego, and of course the jubilation that followed, you know, when our players came on the ice, and McLeish and Lonsberry, you know, were the first to congratulate me, and that had to be one of my highlights. And goodness sakes, you got a statue there of the puck going in, and now it's a great resting place for the pigeons, isn't it?
As the waves crescendo here on Clearwater Beach, one of the new elements to life down here is the subject of hockey talk. The Florida Panthers on the lips of many of these fans as they try to get into the playoffs in the first year of their existence. And the team that they're battling tooth and nail, of course, the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers hoping to avoid a 5th consecutive season without postseason. Ken Adelberger has our report as the Flyers come down the stretch.
Regardless of the outcome in this season's playoff chase, the Flyers' greatest cause for optimism clearly lies in the future. One of the staples for tomorrow's hope is one of the surprises of today, Swedish sensation Michael Renberg.
There's a shot, score! Renberg! Renberg, go! Score! By Renberg! All along, Renberg, score!
I'm pretty satisfied with this season. When I came over here, I didn't know if I would play here or in Hershey. So at the beginning, I was just happy to be with the Flyers. And I got to say that I'm happy with the season so far.
Well, it sounds like making the team was just an accomplishment in that regard then.
That was the most important thing for me.
His goal was to make the team. His goal scoring has made him a team leader. At 6'1", 205 pounds.
Well, that was quick. We got about 10 minutes worth of Broad and Patterson, but here we are back with the Sherwin-Williams starting lineups again, part 2. There's Dusty Baker, the manager, and they're the starting lineups. Darren Lewis has a 2-0 count on him. That's because we had 2 pitches before the rain delay. Robbie Thompson, Todd Benziger. Matt Williams has been red hot. Barry Bonds, who hasn't. Dave Martinez, Royce Clayton, Kurt Manwaring, and Brian Hickerson.
And defensively for the Phillies, you see it there. P.D. Cavilla will be in left field tonight. Remember, our left-handers going. Lenny Dykstra in center field, and Wes Chamberlain in right. Dave Hollins at third base. Kim Batiste playing shortstop. Kevin Stocker with a sore wrist cannot play tonight. Mariano Duncan at second, and John Kruk at first. Darren Dalton behind the plate and on the mound for the second time tonight is Ben Rivera.
For Big Ben, it's almost just like a long inning in the dugout. Really not much more than that. We had a rain delay starting at 7:39. Right now we're 17 minutes past that, so it ended up being less than 20 minutes of a rain delay. So really not much of a factor for him in that sense. And there's Brian Hickerson. For him, this was just a little drizzle because last week, as we mentioned in Shea Stadium, he had an hour and 44-minute rain delay before his start. So he's the Giants version of Rain Man in the first part of the season. Jim Fregosi hoping for better fates here at home than he saw on the West Coast. And we're ready for action once again. Darren Lewis has the advantage of a 2-0 count to start this at bat. Ben Rivera making his 5th start of the season. Has not fared well against the Giants during his career, especially here at the Vet. The 2-0 pitch is a called strike, and that's officially an 18-minute rain delay.
Yeah, his numbers are basically awful against the Giants as you look at their skipper Dusty Baker with Dave Martinez, who is in the starting lineup tonight with Willie McGee out with an injury.
Well, Big Ben has done well coming out of that rain delay. 2 quick strikes. It's now 2-2.
Phillies are looking to see if Ben Rivera will just throw the ball tonight. They need him to get his fastball back, Todd, and he just has not had a good one. And Darren Dalton's calling all fastballs so far.
Foul tip, strike 3. Talk about a different pitcher. Although he only threw 2 pitches before the rain delay, but he comes out and smokes the first 3 past Darren Lewis.
Yeah, he threw him all fastballs. The 2 before the rain delay and the 3 after.
The 20-minute at bat. Robbie Thompson, the next hitter. Big Ben this year has struck out 10 in his 4 starts. Thompson has struggled early on. He's picked it up a little bit as of late. First pitch misses outside, 1-0.
There's some who wonder if Robbie Thompson's a little gun shy from getting hit in the face near the end of last year. This guy is a tremendous player and a tough guy.
Pops one foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, you know, you get drilled the way that he did last year. And sometimes you can just pull off a little bit. Maybe it's subconsciously he's doing it, but they're a little bit worried about him early on in the season. He has been such a rock solid performer for them for so many years.
Breaking ball, called strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That was a good curveball he just threw, and that's Ben Rivera's basically 2 pitches. He does mix in his changeup, but he's mostly fastball and curveball.
Get him out of there. That's popped high in the air, shallow center field. Mariano Duncan takes control and squeezes. There's 2 away. Kim Batiste getting a start at shortstop today. Kevin Stocker day to day.
Has a sore wrist. He got it swinging at a pitch from Todd Borrelli the other night in Los Angeles. And there is Kevin Stocker. They did an MRI on him, test today, and there's no damage. It's just sore, and he's going to have to rest it for a while. He's tried to throw today and had a lot of trouble throwing.
Breaking ball for a called strike to Todd Benziger. 0-1.
Benziger, the latest guy they're trying to fill Will Clark's shoes, who can't, obviously, because McClark was a premier player. But Benzinger's moved from the 6 hole to the 3 hole. He was batting 6th when we saw the Giants in California.
And with this team, batting number 6 has added duties. You have to protect Mr. Barry Bonds.
How about the way he's come out throwing strikes after that little rain delay?
Big Ben has thrown only 1 ball since the 18-minute rain delays ahead of Todd Benziger, 0-2. That misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Benzinger's always been a lot better right-handed batter than left-handed. But right now he's forced into playing every day and hitting a lot left-handed. He was striking out quite a bit early in the season. He's cut down on it a little bit in the last week.
Ground ball right at Duncan. And Rivera has a 1-2-3 first. We head to the bottom half of the first inning. No score.
Over the years, the resale value of the Lexus LS has been extraordinarily high, which is one reason why its lease payments are noticeably low. In fact, now you can lease a Lexus LS for less than you could in 1989. Go figure. The Lexus LS. It's a historic value at your New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer.
Tip your hat to this one. It's the Fanatic's birthday, and kids 14 and under get a free cap with a Fanatic on front, compliments of Tasty Cake when the Phillies play the Giants. Sunday, May 1st at 1:35. For tickets, call 463-1000.
Take a look at the Phillies lineup. Brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Facing a left-hander for the first time in 12 days. Lenny Dykstra yet to have a hit this year against the lefty. Leads off Mariano Duncan at second base. John Kruk at first. Dave Hollins across the way. Darren Dalton the catcher. Wes Chamberlain at right field. Pete Incaviglia in left field. Kim Batiste shortstop. And Ben Rivera on the mound. Defensively for the Giants, Barry Bonds is in left field. Darren Lewis is in center. Dave Martinez the right fielder. Matt Williams and Royce Clayton on the left side of the infield. Robbie Thompson and Todd Benziger on the right side. Kurt Manwaring behind the plate, and Brian Hickerson on the mound. Brian Hickerson on the season. Those 5 games include 3 starts. His ERA would be second in the National League, but he's just 1/3 of an inning shy of qualifying. 20 2/3 innings. You need to have the same amount of innings as games played. His team has played 21 ball games.
Pitching has not been the Giants' problems because Swift and Birkin also have outstanding earned run averages. Philly's going to see all 3 of them this weekend.
Len Dykstra leads things off for the Phils, and he takes a pitch a little high for a ball.
Big sweeping curveball, and you could see Dykstra flinch a little bit on it. Hickerson is normally a much better pitcher against left-handed batters than right-handed batters because he doesn't throw a real good changeup. Most of these left-handers who have a lot of success against right-handed batters are guys that throw straight changes. His changeup really is a split finger.
Dykstra's looking for his first hit of the year against lefties. He's 0 for 20. This was high in the air into shallow right center field. Should be easy for Darren Lewis, who never makes an error. There's one away.
In his whole career.
In his career, since AAA 3 years ago.
Playing in Candlestick Park, no less.
There's Brian Hickerson. He has outstanding numbers against the Phillies over his career. He's never lost a game to the Phils. 4-0, 1.66 ERA. Mariano Duncan, the batter. That's a strange looking number next to Duncan's name, 203.
Well, exactly, Todd. He's not hitting the ball real well, and I think he misses Dykstra being on base too, because Lenny opens up a lot of opportunities for Duncan. He sees a lot more fastballs. Pitchers are worried about him stealing a base. Dykstra being on first base helps a number 2 hitter a lot, and Lenny will probably start getting on base again a lot pretty soon. But as of right now, he has his struggle a little bit early on in the season. As you mentioned, those numbers against left-handed pitching are significant.
Dykstra and Duncan combined 3 for 39 against lefties this year. 2-1 the count to Mariano.
Duncan is very good at hitting the ball the other way too, and when there's a runner on at first base, the first baseman holding Dykstra on, gives him more room to shoot a ball through on the right side.
That pitch slipped out of his hands. It's 3-1. Did you get a chance during that delay to get an updated weather forecast? Is this? I'm being serious. Is there more rain in the forecast? Or?
I'll tell you what. I did not see Dave Montgomery during the.
There's ball 4. Mariana Duncan has drawn a few walks this year.
Intermittent showers throughout the evening, Todd, is the forecast, which means nobody knows.
That means that no matter what happens, you're right.
Yeah, that's covering all your bases.
5 walks already for Mariano, who had 12 walks all of last year. Big hand for one of the few consistent hitters on the West Coast trip, John Kruk.
Yeah, Crucker got his hits out there. In the one game he didn't start, they used him as a pinch hitter, and he doubled in a couple runs.
He hit .454 on the coast, including 5 runs batted in. He's about 300 points higher than a lot of the other guys. Pitch backs him off the plate, 1-0. What about Kruk getting back to full strength? Is it over in terms of his rehabilitation, or is there still a little ways to go?
I think strength-wise he's not there yet. The radiation part of it's over, thankfully, for him. But just building up his strength and his baseball strength, I think he still has a ways to go. I think you're still going to see him sit out some Sundays, day games after night games. His coast trip, he was able to play almost all the games because there was a day off in there, and other than the game in San Diego, after the 2-day games in San Francisco where they played him right away, they were night games.
Mariano Duncan, your runner on first base. 2-0 the count to Kruk. 3-0.
It's very, very wet on the turf, obviously, as Manwaring's going to go out and talk to Hickerson. He's a little bit wild. So the ball will really scoot here tonight. Dick Pohl's the pitching coach, used to be with the Cubs. And Dave Martinez is playing one of the deepest right fields I've ever seen early in a ball game. Kruk doesn't normally drive the ball to right that much, and there you see Dave Martinez. That is really deep.
First 5 appearances on the year, Hickerson walked just 4 batters. He's in danger of walking back-to-back Phillies. He did. 4-pitch walk to John Kruk. Phils have a couple aboard for Dave Hollins.
Ed Rapuano is the home plate umpire, and Hickerson just gave him a long look. He felt that he had thrown a strike then. There's the home plate umpire. Frank Pulley's crew.
Dave Hollins batting right-handed tonight, starting the ball game. Normally that's better for Dave, but this year his numbers hitting right-handed. 4 for 20, batting 200.
And he hasn't batted right-handed that much, Todd, because of the reason we talked about earlier. The Phillies just don't see many left-handed pitchers. Many times late in a game, a manager's move is to bring a right-hander in to pitch to Hollins, as opposed to leaving a left-hander in the game at that point.
Guy in the middle had a huge league championship series, mentioned in the pregame show, against the Phillies. 77.
Did he ever?
1-1 the count to Dave Hollins.
I remember Dusty Baker hitting a grand slam off Jim Lonborg out at Dodger Stadium. Then he hit another one here the night of the torrential rain early in the ball game off Steve Carlton.
Hollins in front of that breaking ball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dave Hollins overall batting .247. Mariano Duncan walked. John Kruk did the same. 1 out, just underway at the vet, despite being 10 minutes after 8. That's because we had an 18-minute rain delay in the top half of the first inning. Big curveball for a called 3rd strike. And you could see that breaking right into your living room.
Yeah, this is no optical illusion. This is a big old roundhouse hook, and this is what Brian Hickerson throws probably better than any other pitch that he possesses. That's a strike.
Now Darren Dalton will be the batter. Dutch on the year batting .319, including over 400 here at the vet. A couple of runners aboard with now 2 outs. Pitch to Dalton misses. It's 1-0.
Dutch is 0 for 8 off this left-hander, too, which is not surprising. As we mentioned, Hickerson is very, very effective against left-handed batters.
Fastball misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Darren Dalton. Here you see Dutch. Darren's been on base in 18 of the 19 games he has played this year. Right now he's ahead of the count, 2-0. That is sent high in the air to center field. Darren Lewis has a beat on it, however. About 390 feet away, he squeezes for the final out of the inning. So a couple of walks do not hurt Hickerson. We head to the second, no score.
Here are 3 premium flat latex wall paints and new Everclean, only from Sherwin-Williams, a paint that really holds up against stains. We'll take tough stains like grease, red wine, tea, grape juice, coffee, mustard, and let them set overnight. Everclean is a flat latex wall paint with a non-porous finish, so it cleans off easily. Stains don't stand a chance with new Everclean. Sherwin-Williams.
What you did?
What I did? Just who do you think you are, man?
Who do you think I am?
Easy, fellas. What would he do?
Oh, the Yellow Pages?
Just any Yellow Pages?
Genuine Yellow Pages.
9 out of 10 use it.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you very much.
The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
Cento Italian Food Productions is rooting for the Phils this season. For every Phillies home run, Cento will donate $200 to the Philadelphia Child Guidance Center. Cento offers more than 100 fine Italian food products, and we've sampled most of them, and they are good, thanks to our good friends from Cento. Take a look at the crowd, which has obviously been held down. The Phillies were expecting over 30,000 for this game, but the Giants had a very good advance sale, but because of the weather, you see quite a few empty seats.
This is right about the time of year last year where the Giants went on a tear, winning 20 out of 26. Take that big lead in the West. They started out about 500 last year, the first month.
Yeah, and they were fortunate in that the Braves were having a very poor April last year, so they hung right in there. In fact, I think they were tied with the Astros at this time last year for first place. The Braves weren't even a factor yet. And everybody knows what happens with the Giants and the Braves later on. One of the great races down to the wire.
Matt Williams batting at .280. He's tied for the National League lead in home runs with 9. Also has 18 runs batted in. First pitch to the Giant third baseman, misses outside for a ball, 1-0.
Key to Matt Williams is to upset his timing. You see he has a timing swing. He wipes his chin on his sleeve. He moves his hands a lot. He moves his legs. And when he's in a good groove, look out.
There's a called strike, 1 ball and 1 strike.
You really need to tie him up and then try and get him out away, because he loves the ball up and out over the plate. He likes to extend. He's hit a lot of home runs already this year to right and right center.
Williams is tied with Ellis Burks and Andres Galarraga for the National League lead with 9 homers. A couple of Rockies on top of that department.
Uh-oh.
Chase there.
I don't know what happened either, because Dalton set up way inside, and the pitch almost looked like a cut fastball away. Watch. See if you see look where Dalton sets. I see where he wants the pitch. Now look what happened. Heck of a pitch. He swung at it, but it wasn't where it was supposed to go.
Fooled both catcher and hitter. Ball and 2 strikes to Williams. Here's a grounder towards Hollins. He backs up, throws wide of first, and that's error number 8. Matt Williams lives on the error.
And the crowd jumps right on Dave Hollins. A routine ground ball. Didn't take any extra crow hops. He just threw it wide, and Kruk couldn't hang on to the bag, obviously. He was just trying to catch a ball and prevent the ball from going into the dugout. So there's one of the things that has hurt the Phillies so much early on in the season is defense.
That puts a runner aboard with nobody out. That'll bring up Barry Bonds. Bonds batting at just .227 on the year. Pitches outside for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, this is the thing you don't want to put on your pitcher right now, obviously, is to have to go into this stretch and then have to battle Bonds.
Bonds in his last 17 games just above 200. I don't know if you want that or not if your team is facing the Giants for a weekend series.
Somebody's going to pay soon.
The 1-0 pitch to him. Popped high in the air. Foul. Dalton gives it a look, so does Hollins. Out of play. The thing about Bonds is he's such a visible player now that about everybody and their brother has a theory as to why he's not hitting. Just in a slump.
Yeah, this game is not easy. I mean, if you're
although he makes it look
makes it look easier than most, that's for sure. He makes an out 7 out of 10 times. He still hits 300, so it's just a failure sport, and he's struggling a little bit.
Matt Williams, not a big lead at first. 1-1 the count to Barry Bonds. Ground ball to Kruk, could be 2. A little wide at second. The relay throw, not quite in time. A tremendous play by Kim Batiste to get that throw from Kruk and return it to make it a close play.
Yeah, Kruk knows he should have had a double play there because John's really good at this. He's very, very good at the 3-6-3. I don't think he really had a good grip on that ball. As Todd said, a fine play by Batiste, and Bonds hustled it out to beat it. But it should have been a double play. And here's another example of the Phillies keep giving teams extra outs in an inning.
Tie goes to the runner. So Bonds lives on first base. He has, while he struggled, stolen 4 bases this year in 5 attempts. Dave Martinez getting a start tonight in right field. Willie McGee is day-to-day. Injured himself on Sunday. Strained his left side, so Martinez and Mark Carrion will see some action in right field. Fastball rides high, it's 1-0.
Dave Martinez has been a guy over his career, has hurt the Phillies a lot, especially when he was with Montreal and with the Giants. He's a real good low ball hitter, especially down and in, and they really have to stay away from that danger zone with him.
.310 career against the Phils. There goes Bonds. It's a pitch out. Dalton's throw in time.
I think, Todd, that pitch out came on scouting report tendencies more than anything. They might have a report that says the Giants like to run with certain guys 1-0, so let's take a chance. And it was 1-0. They pitch out, and Dalton makes a perfect throw, and they nail Bonds. He was not looking in, so it almost appeared to be a straight steal.
So now 2 outs, nobody on. That'll bring up Dave Martinez. And that continues Dave Martinez's at bat. 2-0 pitch, swing at a high fastball, 2-1. Some empty seats around the vet with the weather the way it is, but the crowd that is here making a lot of noise. They were riding Barry Bonds as he strolled back to the dugout after being thrown out at second. 2-1 pitch is fouled below us, and the count evens up 2-2. 6'6", 250-pounder out of San Pedro de Macorís, Dominican Republic. Ben Rivera making his 5th start of the year. Picked up the Phillies' first win as a starter. And with Tommy Green ailing for part of April, and the fact that we mentioned Curt Schilling not winning a game, a little more pressure on Ben to turn things around after his last start.
8 and no decision at San Diego, and just didn't pitch very well.
Bounces away, no harm, nobody on base, so the count is full. Giants in for 3. We're with you again tomorrow night at Prism, 7:05 start. The Phils try and break the dreaded curse of the Blue Caps on Sunday. Full count pitch is fouled out of play. They are still wearing those blue things, aren't they?
I guess.
How did that become an issue?
Because they've lost 3 games in them. My opinion. That's all. You know, I know that they don't like them. Well, so what? But I think it's more than anything that they've had 3 losses in them, and they're making more of a big deal out of it.
Sunday's matchup is Bill Swift against Tommy Green. Full count pitch popped high in the air. Who wants it? John Kruk or Mariano Duncan? Dunk calls him off, and that does it for the Giants here in the second. So the error does not hurt the Phillies. We head to the bottom of the second. No score.
Some people hate to stop for gasoline. We do it for a living. Just going from one Sunoco station to another. Checking to make sure a gallon is truly a gallon. That the octane you pay for is the octane you get. That the gasoline is as good coming out of the pump as it was coming out of the refinery. So next time you're moaning because you have to pull over for gasoline, think of us. We have to stop 1,183 times this year.
The 1994 Nissan Sentra XE with an airbag, cruise control, air conditioning, and a cassette stereo is priced $1,700 less than a comparably equipped Toyota Corolla. $1,700. You could invest that money in CDs. Or a few hundred cassettes. The Nissan Sentra XE. Should you prefer a lease, you can now get a Sentra for $189 a month with $500 down for 36 months.
Come on in to S&C's Open House for terrific savings on our entire stock of bedding. Starting at just $69 each piece for the twin. Choose from your favorite names: Sealy, Serta, Simmons, Stearns & Foster. Every mattress, every box spring on sale. All sizes twin through king starting at just $69. From our house to yours, bring home the best from Strawbridge and Clothier.
Come out for the fun of it, son of it. A Good Time Business Person Special, compliments of Mellon PSFS, Wednesday, May 18th at 1:05 when the Phillies maul Montreal. Treat yourself to midday, mid-May baseball. Call 463-1000.
First to 3 with the Giants tomorrow, 7:05 Sunday, the Fanatic's birthday. Starting at 1:35. Padres in for the first week of May. Second, third, and fourth, all 7:35 starts. You can easily order your tickets by calling the Phillies at 463-1000 or by stopping by any one of the local Ticketmaster outlets. We're in the bottom half of the second inning, no score. Wes Chamberlain will lead things off against Brian Hickerson, who walked a couple of Phillies in the first, but was not harmed by the bases on balls. Here's a ball sent deep to right field, but not deep enough. Dave Martinez is playing there and makes the catch for the first out. So Wes Chamberlain, coming in batting at .316 on the year, flies out on the first pitch of the inning. That'll bring up Pete Incaviglia. Only one starter on the West Coast trip for Incaviglia as the Phillies saw a slew of right-handed starters. Inky batting just below 200 on the year. The 7th spot in the order, probably not a spot familiar for Pete Incaviglia throughout his career.
They're going to try anything they can to get Inky going right now. He has struggled really since the start of the season, and he had a great spring.
He had a tremendous spring and just hasn't been able to continue it up north. He fouls one into the upper deck, 0-1. Left-hander Brian Hickerson, 30 years of age, acquired from the Minnesota Twins, grew up in Minnesota. Pitches low for a ball, 1-1. Hickerson had what is commonly referred to now as Tommy John surgery. After the '88 season, missed all of '89 and really took a couple more years to get back to his original form. There's a piece, and over the head of Darren Lewis, one hop against the left center field wall. It even sounded funny off the bat, but he roped it over the head of Lewis, and that's a stand-up double.
And you saw how it froze Darren Lewis, too, who is one of the better center fielders in baseball. I think he thought he had it for a while, and it just kept going. And this is a guy they desperately need to get going, is Pete Incaviglia. At that point, Darren Lewis has no chance. And that's certainly not an error, but it was a ball that absolutely locked him in his tracks out there. That's how hard Incaviglia hit that.
So now Kim Batiste batting with a runner on second base. And one away. Batiste on the season, 2 for 10. making his 3rd start of the year. Slider misses inside, 1-0. Batiste starting for Kevin Stocker. May get another start tomorrow. He'll go day to day with Stocker, see how that strained right wrist reacts. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Stocker took some grounders tonight. Threw okay to first, but really couldn't get any juice on the throw, so he patiently waits, and Kim Batiste will get a start, at least for tonight, and maybe a couple of more. Here's a hard hit ground ball, base hit into center field. Around third, and now being held is Incaviglia. Now Darren Lewis fumbles the ball, and Incaviglia stays. And that almost was the first error in Darren Lewis's major league career. However, Incaviglia was held originally and couldn't get the wheel started in time.
I don't know what happened either, because I looked down and Larry Boa had him coming all the way, and I guess he must have put the brakes on, or he held him at the last second, because Incaviglia was definitely being waved around at one point. Here's Kim Batiste singling to center, and Lewis has a good arm, and the ball is wet, and I think that's why Boa wanted to send him, and maybe he felt that Incaviglia had not gotten a good enough jump, and he decided to hold him. Obviously he knows now he could have scored, but it's a split-second decision for the third base coach.
Darren Lewis hasn't committed an error since May 10th, 1991 at AAA Phoenix. Was not an error, but very close. Incaviglia stays at third. Giants bring the infield up. Ben Rivera at the plate with runners on the corners and 1 away. Around the bunt, he takes it inside for a ball, 1-0.
Ben had 13 sacrifices last year, has 2 this season, and he is an .089 lifetime hitter. So Larry going through the signs down there. Ben is not much of a hitter, and they probably are thinking about bunting the runner over to give Dykstra a shot.
Just moving Batiste into scoring position. Throw over there.
Hickerson throwing over to first more or less to see if Rivera will commit again, which he did. Matt Williams was not looking for a bunt on the first pitch, and now he's much more aware of it. You see Williams up now.
That's bunted foul. It's 1-1. Larry Boa going through the signs. He definitely would like to see Pete Incaviglia score here. Incaviglia was stopped late as he ran around third base, and then by the time Boa tried to restart him, Pete had already lost all momentum. There's Batiste at first. 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Hickerson throwing the first. This time Ben Rivera did not show bunt early.
Which means maybe they're going to let him swing away, or maybe not. Got that wet turf. I mean, if you can hit it hard at all on the ground tonight, it has a chance to get through.
He's swinging, fouls it back. Maybe got a little anxious there at the plate.
Well, Todd, Ben might check swing at the Rosenbach. He's just going to go up there and hack, and that's why they have him bunt so much, because that's what he does best.
Figures if I get the green light, I'm swinging. If I don't have to bunt, I might as well take my hacks, but now he's behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. He chops one. He's got the runner to second, so the same effect as a bunt. He won't get a sacrifice out of it. It goes 1-3, and there's now 2 away. A 2 in scoring position, and Len Dykstra will try and snap his offer against lefties this year and put the Phillies on top.
Ben did a heck of a job getting that bunt down, huh?
A swinging bunt. Dykstra fly to center his first time up. Bills have runners on second and third, 2 outs. Incaviglia doubled. Kim Batiste singled. Little looper into left field. Barry Bonds waits. Makes that snatch catch for the final out, and Dykstra slams his helmet down. The frustrations against lefties continues. We're through 2. No score.
Sure, you got a state-of-the-art entertainment center. Center. a fully interactive home theater. Even got a gourmet delivery service. But have you got what it takes to be a mountain man? All it takes are the 2 cool beers of the Mountain Man. Smooth Busch beer, easy drinking Busch Light. So, be a mountain man. All you gotta do is head for the mountains.
The Phillies take on Doc Gooden and the New York Mets Friday, May 20th at 7:35. Saturday, May 21st at 7:05. And Sunday, May 22nd at 1:35, when kids 14 and under get a free growth chart featuring the Fanatic and Darren Dalton. Compliments of the Mid-Atlantic Milk Marketing Association, the Phillies and the Mets, and a free growth chart with Darren Dalton. For tickets, call 463-1000.
It's the dawn of a new generation. The new generation of clean gasoline. A breakthrough in technology from Texaco that can clean up over time what came before. An advanced system of engine cleaning in every octane grade for the highest performance, lower emissions, and improved mileage. Texaco introduces the gasoline that's changing what gasoline can do. New Clean System 3. Give us 60 days and watch what can happen.
Watch the Phillies cut the Giants down to size in Game 2 of this series Saturday night at 7 o'clock exclusively on Prism.
Well, Lenny Dykstra in an RBI situation might have been thinking he's going to get first ball fastball. He doesn't. He gets a breaking ball, and you can see he jammed himself. As Hickerson has a real good curveball, and if he was swinging fastball or thinking about it, that could be the type of swing he would have gotten on that curveball. And you can see the frustration setting in right now. Here's a guy who used to be a pretty good pitcher, to say the least. Pitched here for a while, but everybody remembers him with the New York Yankees. Sparky Lyle, Walter Albert Lyle to be exact. What a good guy. And Sparky having a soft drink there. He'd have a few of those too.
Royce Clayton leads off for the Giants in the 3rd inning. Takes the pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. Clayton among the regulars leading the Giants in hitting at 294. A couple of home runs, 6 runs batted in. Takes a fastball for a ball, 2-0.
7-hole hitter in the lineup and up among the league leaders in stolen bases with 7 in 7 attempts.
Guy who stole 11 all of last year. Reached for that one. 2-0 pitch, fouled back. It's 2-1. Big Ben so far is not allowed to hit through the first 6 batters he has faced. We'd like to welcome our newest fan to the vet tonight, Zachary McCarty, celebrating his 6th birthday. His first ever visit to the vet. His mom is recovering from surgery and can't be with him, but of course she sends her warmest birthday greetings. Swing and a foul tip, and the count evens 2-2 on the Giants shortstop.
Gives us a chance to send birthday greetings tonight to Gene Green from Upper Darby, who is 83.
"18-minute rain delay in the top half of the 1st inning. We're now in the 3rd of a scoreless ball game. Sent into center field, well hit. Dykstra on the move though, and Lenny cruises for the 1st out. Ball was well stroked by Clayton, but Dykstra ran it down to the outfielders, 1 away.
Clayton's probably not going to hurt you with too many long balls the other way, so they stay away from him. And if he hits a ball in the air high that way to that part of the ballpark, you're going to get him out for the most part. He normally will pull his home runs.
Check out the new Giants road uniforms. First look for the fans here at the vet with the San Francisco across the front. Kurt Manwaring struggling at the plate early on, is batting 169, takes a strike at the knees, 0-1.
He's one of the more underrated players on this team. Last year a Gold Glover, very good thrower with a quick release, and contributed offensively quite a bit for the Giants, and as Todd said, off to a slow start this year. Looks very vulnerable to breaking pitches early on in the season, as if his timing isn't there.
Not a lot of the Giants are hitting well. That's why they're last in the league in hitting coming into the ball game. But they are leading the NL West with an 11-10 record.
Todd, the last few years they led the league in double plays, and I think they're 3rd right now. The Florida Ball Club and Pittsburgh are ahead of them, so they could potentially lead the league in double plays again. So they catch the ball really well, and they have good pitching, and that's why they're going to be a good team again. You combine those two and you mix in some kind of hitting, you're going to win a lot of games.
They had 4 Gold Glovers last year. 1-2 pitch just misses the inside corner. It's 2-2. The 4 Gold Glovers were Manwaring, we mentioned. Robbie Thompson at second, won his first. Matt Williams at third, and Barry Bonds in left field, all winning Gold Gloves in 1993. For Bonds, his 4th. That ball is ripped to left. Incaviglia gets there and makes the play. 2 pretty hard hit balls this inning, resulting in 2 outs. The Big Ben so far through the minimum, the first 8 batters he has faced.
It's a high fastball, it looked like. No, it's a high breaking ball. And he teed it up a little bit there for Manwaring, who hit it hard.
When you're hitting 169, those find a fielder.
The old Adam ball right at him.
Brian Hickerson, the batter. He's 2 for 5 on the season and fouls one off the left foot of Ed Rapuano.
That one hurt. Call Frank Pulley the Fred Astaire. Oh, that got his hand. That's why it hurt so much. Oh, that got that left hand of his. Oh, man, that one really had a sting.
Catchers keep that free hand behind their back usually. Maybe Ed will think about that left hand behind his back. Next pitch misses. It's 1-1.
He's tough. He hardly even looked at it.
And don't forget, coming up, take a look at that fine performance by the left-hander Don Carmen at Candlestick. 8 years ago, pitches a called strike, 1-2. DC is still around, throwing down AAA level.
Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Only he was just released recently.
Started the season with the Red Barons. And Ben Rivera has gone through 3 innings in the minimum fashion. 9 up, 9 retired. It's time for tonight's Vintage Vision. Tonight, Larry Rosen takes you back almost 8 years to the finest ever performance by left-hander Don Carmen.
For some players, the years of hard work culminate in one magic moment. And so it was for Don Carmen. A typical southpaw, Carmen felt it all come together on an August day in Candlestick Park.
That game against San Francisco was by far the most dominating game that I've been in, and I haven't seen very many like it. I was in complete control of every hitter throughout the game until the hit by Brenly.
Carmen had retired the first 24 batters, set career high for strikeouts, and was overpowering until catcher Bob Brenly led off in the 9th inning.
Threw a fastball away, but I got it up a little bit, and he reached out, pulled it in the left center gap.
Milt Thompson can't get it. Brenly at second base, and it'll probably be scored a double, and Carmen has lost his perfect game bid and his no-hit bid.
Milt Thompson playing center field and Gary Reedus in left, and both guys told me they could have caught it, and they both kind of backed off the ball. It's one of those things where, you know, they would both crash into the wall, but then when they both see each other, you can't write a script for it, and if I could, I wouldn't have written that one out.
Carmen eventually pitched out of the 9th inning trouble, and in a scoreless tie, Juan Samuel led off the 10th with a solo home run, leaving Carmen a winner, if not a spot, in the record book.
And there is Milt Thompson back with the Phillies. That was an amazing performance by Don Carmen that day. And, you know, Milt Thompson didn't catch it. He said he probably should have. When you're trying to catch balls at Candlestick Park over your shoulder that way, looking up into that sun and the wind, there's no place tougher. And the guy who was the opposing pitcher that day is that gentleman on your left right there. That's Mike Krukow. Dwayne Kuiper working with him. Krukow now with the Giants as a broadcaster. Had a good season here for the Phillies, and always nice to see that guy again. One of the toughest competitors you ever want to be around.
That game-winning home run we saw in that piece wasn't a bad pitch. Breaking ball in the outside part. Mariano Duncan fouls one right off that left shin area that he has protected.
That's what Sammy used to do in those days when he was a great offensive player, when he used to hit the ball the other way with power so much. There's Mark Anderson, and Ed Rapuano, as we showed you, got whacked on that left hand, and that had to hurt, and he hardly even looked at it. And the Phil's trainer came out to check it out for him between innings.
Ball is ripped down the left field line. It finds fair territory all the way towards the Giants bullpen. And Mariano Duncan leads off the third with a double.
This game is very similar to a lot the Phillies have had, and they just need to break through against somebody, grab a lead, and sit on it for a while. This is a double off the bat because it hit that wet turf, and it's going to scoot to the corner. Bonds knows that he has a double there, so, you know, I mean, he's a fine thrower. He's not going to even attempt to throw to second in that situation. Phillies have had Hickerson in trouble all evening so far and haven't been able to get anything.
First 2 innings, the Phils have had 2 aboard in each inning. Now they start off with a leadoff double, and John Kruk, who walked his first time up on 4 pitches, is the batter. Breaking ball misses, 1 ball and no strikes. Kruk coming in, batting at .378. All the way up to 45 at bats after missing the first road trip. 17 hits. He will try and move Mariano Duncan along on the bases with nobody out and a runner on second. Another breaking ball misses inside, so Hickerson has missed to Kruk on the first 6 offerings in the first 2 at bats. There's Brian Hickerson, acquired from the Minnesota Twins, and maybe early on in his career felt a little bit of the pressure of being traded for Dan Gladden. Started in Shreveport at the AA level in 1990. Worked his way through that Tommy John injury. Here's a ball sent into left center field. Barry Bonds glides to his left and makes the catch. Duncan stays at second.
And Kruk very upset with himself going down the line because he jammed himself really on a fastball that time. Hickerson throws him the fastball. Of course, Kruk wants to pull the ball in this situation to get Duncan to third, and the ball got in on him, and he hit that fly ball to left field. He can't advance the runner. John Kruk normally will advance the runner for you in that situation.
Well, so far the Phils haven't changed their ways from the West Coast trip. Struggling to get the runs home early on. Dave Hollins has a chance to break this scoreless game. Phils have 3 hits so far. Brian Hickerson has also walked a couple of batters, but no runs. That one's fouled back, 0-1.
Gary Maddox, normally due to join us in the 4th inning, will not be with us tonight, nor will Gary be with us tomorrow night. Has an illness in his family, and we wish the family well, and we hope to have Gary back with us on Monday.
Look forward to his return. Gary playing for both the teams in action tonight, former Giant and Philly. The 0-1 pitch to Hollins, down low. It's 1-1.
The Giants are not a type of team either that necessarily going to help you get out of this by making mistakes, because they don't make many mistakes. They will turn the double play. They will make the play in the outfield, and they're the type of team that you must beat them. They don't beat themselves very often.
Mentioned the 4 Gold Gloves. Right now they lead the league in fielding as well. Tough turf tonight to play on, as Darren Lewis can attest to. The 1-1 pitch inside for a ball, 2-1. But Lewis, with the bobble, did not commit an error. No errors for the Giants. The Phillies have committed 1.
You know what? I don't think they'd have given him an error even if Incaviglia had scored on the play either, because normally if they're running all the way on that and the guy bobbles it a little bit like that on a wet night, they probably would have just scored that a single and an RBI.
Although Inky had stopped.
Once he stopped, right. Sure.
Here's a ball hit on the ground hard, but right to Robbie Thompson, who makes the play. 2 away. Duncan to third with 2 outs. Hollins hit it hard. The second baseman was there. Now it's up to Darren Dalton for a 2-out RBI. First to 3 with the Giants, first of 6 in the homestand. San Diego comes in for 3. The other California team, Los Angeles, was already in on the last homestand, so they will not be part of this West Coast swing. Just the Giants and the Padres. 0-0. We're in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. First pitch to Dalton's a good breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. 0-1. Mentioned the Braves scooting over to the Eastern Division. The Giants theoretically could be about 15 games below their pace last year and end up winning their division rather handily. They won 103 last year and had a second-place finish to show for it. There's a ball ripped in the right field. The Phillies take a 1-0 lead on Darren Dalton's 20th RBI of the year.
And those are the kind of things you hope you get from Darren Dalton, who is such a big leader on this ball club. Everybody's struggling trying to produce runs, and he gets the 2-out hit here on a hanging curveball, his first career hit off Hickerson.
Dalton now 1 for 10 lifetime against Hickerson, and it's a big one at that. Mariano Duncan scores the game's first run.
Nobody will be happier about that than Kruk, too, because if John didn't get the runner over, it's something that he does so well normally.
Pitch to Chamberlain, misses. It's 1-0. Big West playing in his first game of the year at the vet. He was activated for the West Coast trip. West flied out to right field his first time up. That is chopped slowly towards third. A big hop for Williams. He guns down Chamberlain for the final out of the inning. But the Phillies tally the game's first run. They do so on the 2-out RBI off the bat of Darren Dalton. There's your score. We're heading to the fourth.
Yeah, you've seen it all. Done it all. Pretty much got it all figured out. But have you got what it takes to be a mountain man? All it takes are the 2 cool beers of the Mountain Man. Smooth Busch beer, easy drinking Busch Light. So, be a mountain man. All you gotta do is head for the mountains.
Introducing the lineup of your favorite Phillies photo ball baseballs. Play ball! Collect all 5 at Burger King for only $2.99 each. Here's the play-by-play on how. Slide into your participating Burger King restaurant. Buy any delicious value meal. Run home with 1 Phillies photo ball. Let's replay. Slide. Buy. Score! Collect a different photo ball each week for $2.99 at Burger King. We may not be the world's #1 fast food place. It just tastes that way. What a steal!
Now, over time, a car can be reborn. Reborn with a breakthrough in technology from Texaco, an advanced system of engine cleaning that now cleans combustion chambers and unlocks a car's potential in every octane grade for the highest performance, lower emissions, and improved mileage. Introducing the gasoline that's changing what gasoline can do. New Clean System 3 from Texaco. Give us 60 days and watch what can happen.
Volunteers needed for the Special Olympics of Philadelphia's May Games, Friday, May 6th and Saturday, May 7th at Northeast High School. Name your sport, softball, track, basketball. Philadelphia Special Olympians need your help. Call 351-7224 for more information. I had a chance when I was up in New York to get involved with their Special Olympics out on Long Island a couple of years, and I guarantee you will enjoy yourself immensely, and it's for a great cause, the Special Olympics. 351-7224.
It's the home plate umpire whose left hand is swollen up a little bit. There's Jim Fregosi, and they're talking to him, and Mark Anderson and Jeff Cooper, the Phillies trainers, helping Rapuano out a little bit. He took a nasty shot on that left hand. Evidently, we're told up in the tunnel, what do you call it, ethyl chloride? Yeah. They used to call it that. Anyway, they spray it on the hand and freezes the area a little bit.
That's not going to get any better as the game goes along.
But it's his left hand. He calls the strikes with the right hand.
He'll probably have that hand tucked behind the bag for the rest of the game. So far, Ben Rivera's faced 9 batters. 1 reached base, but was eventually retired. 1-0 Phil's lead. We're in the fourth. Aaron Lewis struck out his first time up, and he grounds one right to Mariano Duncan. First pitch of the fourth, 1 out in the fourth. So Big Ben Wheels, after a struggle in San Diego's, turned things around early here.
Has a much better fastball tonight, and his curveball then is effective, Todd. He needs the fastball to set up that real good breaking ball that he has, and he seems to just be letting the ball go tonight a little bit better, and that's what they want him to do, is throw hard.
If you looked at the numbers on the 2 starting pitchers' career, You would never think the score would be 1-0 in favor of the Phils. Brian Hickerson 4-0, 1.66 lifetime against the Phils. Ben Rivera here at the vet 0-2, 12.34 ERA against the Giants.
The thing that's helped Ben so far is he's probably fairly low with his pitch total. And Ben Rivera normally runs a very high pitch total before a ball game is over.
1-1 pitch is outside and a little bit low. It's 2-1. Has not yet reached a 3-ball count on a batter. 2-1 the count on Robbie Thompson, who popped up his first time up. That's in the right center field. Chamberlain looks over at Dykstra, but now calls him off for the second out. Wes originally thought Lenny was a little bit closer. Ran the ball down in the gap.
Well, Wes is still not running real well with the knee. He had a knee operation near the end of spring training, and he's running okay, but it's still below average. And on that kind of a ball, he was fortunate really that it was slicing back towards him and that it stayed in the air for a while. Dykstra has to be aware of that, and is that he needs to cover maybe a little more ground than normally because Chamberlain's not running very well.
2 outs, nobody on. Todd Benziger takes a pitch for a ball, 1-0.
Larry Christensen just stopped in to see us. Former hard-throwing right-hander whose elbow looks like a zipper factory.
1-0 pitch is a called strike, 1-1.
Talk about elbow operations. There's no chance for a Tommy John operation with that guy. Gonna be a daddy again. Congratulations. Number 2 for Bentley and Larry.
A few former Philly pitchers in the crowd tonight. We saw Kruko earlier. Sparky Lyle. Now LC makes an appearance in the booth. They're watching a pretty fine performance from a current Philly pitcher. Ben Rivera is not allowed a hit so far, and he's been ahead of most of the batters. It's 2-2 on Todd Benziger. There you see Big Ben. 6.52 was his ERA coming in. That ball's chopped slowly towards Duncan. Easy play. 1-2-3 inning. Ben Rivera threw 4. No hits, no walks. Phil's lead.
The RCA Home Theater comes with a new optimum contrast screen. A blacker blacks, brilliant whites, and a picture so clear and bright, you'll feel like you're really there.
RCA Home Theater products at Bryn Mawr Stereo, where we sell Goosebumps.
You can't use a mobile phone to say,
"Okay, we're ready to sign a contract."
You can't use a mobile phone to whisper.
"Daddy misses you too, sweetheart."
A mobile phone will not let you send.
Here comes the fax.
And it will not let you hear.
The meeting's been changed.
Unless
Hello?
the call goes through. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile.
The Lexus LS custom-tailored lease. The fact that the LS holds its value so well is one reason why you can now lease it for less than you could in 1989. This lease is so inspiring, so uplifting, so profound. Our lawyers will move to write this heroic epic commemorating it. The Lexus LS, only $569 a month. Lease one today at your New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer.
Phillies Baseball on Prism is brought to you by Bell Atlantic Mobile. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile. By your Quality Plus Ford dealer, who invites you to test drive the brand new 1994 Mustang convertible. And by Pizza Hut. Get a large cheese Neapolitan pizza delivered every day for just $7.99.
Midweek, midday, mid-May. Baseball, second of 6 business person specials. Great baseball in the sunshine. Compliments of Mellon PSFS. Tickets for this ever-popular day are available now, 463-1000, or stop by the Center City ticket office at Mellon PSFS. Pete Incaviglia grounds one towards Matt Williams. Handcuffs him a little, but he makes the play for the first down here in the bottom half of the fourth. So Inky, who doubled his first time up, is now 1 for 2.
Like it tonight, though, Incaviglia looks like he's just going up there and turning the bat loose instead of feeling for it. Didn't hit that ball real hard. He did hit the ball hard his first time up. And Matt Williams is as good as anybody down there at third base.
A 1-6 road trip, including 5 one-run losses and a long flight back, will have you thinking a little bit on that plane ride.
Yeah, that was a long trip back. Plane landed about 9:05, I think it was.
A.M.
A.M.
Get home around 11, almost noon.
Yeah, it would have been a lot better to be 6-1 on that trip.
And it was close to a 6-1 trip. A lot of one-run losses, or at least 5-2.
But they're honest about it, Todd, and you know, you like that about the ball club and the manager. He said, yeah, but they didn't play well, and deserved to lose a lot of games because they didn't play well.
Ken Batiste almost had his second hit of the night, but Wally Bell says just foul. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The other thing was, heading into that trip, they were at an even 500 and hadn't really played well to that point. So
that game they lost right before they left town was a tough one. There's Fregosi looking on that game to the Dodgers that they blew that 7-2 lead.
Darren Dreifert picking up his first big league save. Hickerson ahead 1-2. Batiste reaches out and stays alive. There's the left-hander Brian Hickerson. Great numbers against the Phillies in his career. Moved into the rotation again this year like he was last year because of injuries.
His 1.66 earned run average in those 4 wins against the Phillies lifetime.
After that surgery we talked about on his elbow, the Tommy John type surgery, really didn't come into his own for a couple more seasons after that. 91, maybe the first full season where he felt comfortable. Giants like him. They protected him in the expansion draft. Last year he split time between the bullpen and the starting rotation. 2-2 pitch to Batiste, grounded past Hickerson, the right of Robbie Thompson. 2 outs. Hickerson has retired 2 batters for the first time in an inning this game.
Hickerson is probably one of those comfortable guys to hit off. He doesn't throw anything real hard or real nasty. But what he does is he gets hitters to jam themselves a lot. And I think you just saw that with Batiste. He gets them so aware of his ability to throw his curveball for a strike that they don't handle the fastball as well as they think they should, because his fastball is not all that hard, or it really doesn't even move that much.
It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. If Robbie Thompson can play the big hop, he does, and that'll do it for the Phils in the 4th. So they go down in order. We head to the 5th. Phils lead it 1-0.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, boy. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
Lean on number 1, Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see that the land is pure, untamed and free. There's no place that I'd rather be. So come on along and head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer.
It's back. It's
It's better. It's the 3rd annual Great American Ford Sales Event at your Quality Plus Ford dealer with a great deal on America's #1 truck. Drive an F-150 for just $229 per month, the lowest payment of the year. Now with a driver's side airbag standard. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer and test drive the all-new Windstar and receive 12 movie rentals from Blockbuster Video. The 3rd annual Great American Ford Sales Event is just about over. Hurry, see your Quality Plus Ford dealer and save.
Hey, it's a great new item for all the women 15 and over. This big white t-shirt features very colorful Phillies logos on the front and perfect for all occasions like the beach, the pool, picnic, or just around the house this summer. A great way to show your Phillies colors and its compliments of Thriftway. Make sure to make your plans early. Order your tickets now by calling 463-1000 or stop by the Vet Stadium ticket office. We head to the 5th with the Phils leading 1-0. Ben Rivera has faced 12 batters, has not allowed a hit, has not allowed a walk. Only Matt Williams reached base on an error. He was wiped out on a fielder's choice, and then Barry Bonds was caught stealing. So Big Ben has faced the minimum as we head to the 5th. Here's Matt Williams. He has been a hot hitter for the Giants. He takes a pitch on the outside of the plate. It's 1-0. Ben has been around the plate this game, Wheels. 1-0 the count to Williams. I say Ben has been around the plate this game, Wheels.
Sure has.
There he is.
Yeah, and even when he's missing right now, he's not missing by much. Those were 2 pretty good fastballs he threw to Matt Williams, who took them for balls just off the plate.
2 balls and no strikes after I mentioned his control to Williams, who's hit 6 home runs in his last 11 games. And now he's fallen behind 3-0 on cue.
Matt Williams was really diving out for the ball away. After 2 fastballs away, Darren Dalton wants a fastball in. Look at Williams dive into it, and then it's a, woo, I better get out of there. Scary from that angle, too, for Matt Williams. Got some intense eyes, this guy.
Inside corner, hard to tell if he had the green light to start off the inning.
Look at those bulbs.
University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Looks like a relief pitcher.
Came back last year to post career numbers. Big year for the Giants last year. 3-1 pitch. That's inside ball 4. So Rivera walks his first batter of the ball game. He's walked a few this year. Coming in, he had walked 14 in his first 4 starts. Over 19 in the 3rd innings.
And just 10 strikeouts, and that's certainly not a good ratio.
Here's Barry Bonds. He grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up, then was caught stealing. And misses low and away, 1-0.
I know Bonds likes to hit the fastball early in the count, so they started him with a breaking ball, and unfortunately for Rivera, he's behind him now, 1-0.
No player in the history of Major League Baseball has won 3 MVPs in 4 years. Upper deck. Hello. Off the 400 level, home run, Barry Bonds. So much for being in a slump.
He took a long look at it. Can't blame him. He killed that thing.
On a 1-0 pitch, Big Ben came in with one, and Barry Bonds took it out of the park for his 6th home run of the year, and he has given the Giants a 2-1 lead on their first hit of the ball game.
And he's just crossing home plate. That was a long trot, but he crushes this thing and just looks at it. Bonds like this one. Look at him watch it. I mean, there's no doubt about where that's headed. He's got quite a trot. He's had a lot of practice.
Yes, he has. Barry Bonds gets the handshake from his father, rounding first base, Bobby Bonds. On the 2-run home run, the Giants' first hit of the game. Here's a called strike on the outside corner. We only had 46 of those last year. Martinez popped up his first time up. There's strike 2. We talked about Rivera being right around the plate. He walks Williams, then he got behind Bonds 1-0 and had to come in with something.
Yeah, that's why I said on the first pitch they wanted to stay away from a first ball fastball, but unfortunately he got behind him 1-0, and now Bonds was in control and he launched one.
The breaking ball in the dirt. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. There was a slight question off the bat whether it would stay fair, but it never really threatened the foul pole.
It didn't have much hook on it. He's quite a player.
It's not often in Major League Baseball you can say with conviction that a certain player is the best in the big leagues. You can say that now about Barry Bonds as Dave Martinez lines to John Kruk. There's one away.
Well, he's the best in this league, that's for sure.
You think there's some competition in the AL?
I don't know. You know, I've asked some people about Griffey, you know, people like that, and they say, well, he does do some things maybe a little bit better than Bonds, but maybe not the whole package. And Bonds is older, and he's put those MVPs up. They talk about Juan Gonzalez, how good he is. But it's hard to believe anybody's better than Barry Bonds. That's what I keep saying. You know, we see him in this league.
Right. I think potentially the Gonzalez's and Griffey's could reach that level, but like you said, they haven't done it over the years like BB has so far. There's a big swing and a miss by Royce Clayton. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Those two know each other very well.
Dusty Baker and Bobby Bonds, longtime friends. Pop foul, out of play, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's good to see him back on the field. Glad that he is doing well.
They obviously have some things that they're telling to Clayton. You saw Baker yell out when Clayton took that big swing, and now Bonds just tell him, now think. So, you know, they have him doing some things, and right now he's not doing them, obviously. Probably what they're trying to get him to do is to stop pulling off and trying to pull everything, because Clayton probably could drive the ball the other way and be a better player that way.
You notice Bonds was sitting next to the manager after that home run. It's nice to be next to the skipper when you hit one about 450 feet. Dusty Baker, the day Barry Bonds was born, held that now big guy in his arms. Former teammates Bobby Bonds and Dusty Baker. 3-2 the count on Royce Clayton. Now Rivera walks his second of the ball game, his second of the inning, and all of a sudden that great control we talked about has eluded Ben in this inning. Doesn't make Johnny Padres very happy.
Well, they're striving for some consistency out of Rivera, and pitched really well here tonight. First 4 innings. And they don't know whether or not stamina is going to set in with him, because I mentioned he hasn't had a good fastball lately. Now he has a decent one here tonight, it looked like, early on.
A key test for Ben early on was to see how he reacted after the error by Hollins. He bared down and got the next couple of batters out. This leadoff walk here in the 5th has resulted in a 2-run home run, and now 1 out later, another walk. There's Clayton, who leads the team in steals with 7. He has not been caught. That's sent in the air, pretty well hit, but Dykstra and Chamberlain get back. West calls off Lenny and makes the catch. That's 2 away, and that'll bring up the pitcher Brian Hickerson. We're in the top half of the 5th inning. Giants have just 1 hit, but they lead it 2-1. First of 3 with San Fran here at the Vet.
Now, as you mentioned, Clayton likes to run, Todd. And if he was going to run, it probably would have been while Manwaring was up. Normally, you don't see too many runners go with a pitcher batting at 2 outs, because if they were to get thrown out, you don't want the pitcher leading off.
Pitch is in the dirt for a ball, 1-0.
Ben does have that high leg kick, and Clayton might be something you look for later that might think about running in a particular situation. This is normally not one of those.
One ball and 1 strike to Brian Hickerson. Final this afternoon from Wrigley Field, and guess what happened to the Cubs again?
They lost.
They lost at home.
Double play with the bases loaded in the 9th inning when they had the tying and winning runs on.
0-9 at Wrigley Field. 1-1 pitch is up high for a ball. It's 2-1.
That's hard to do. Wally Bell says no swing.
0-9 at Wrigley. The Cubs have really struggled. They're 6-15 on the year. And they're in the division with the Reds jumping out to a 14-6 start. The new National League Central. Giants on top of their division with an 11-10 mark, a game ahead of the Dodgers. Big Ben is in danger of walking his opposing pitcher, Brian Hickerson.
And Hickerson is not a threat at all at home plate, and that's getting them a little restless in the dugout. Phillies need to start getting some innings out of their starting pitching too, because their bullpen has been inconsistent.
Hickerson lifetime coming into the year, 091. 2 for 6 on the season though. Swing and a miss at a 3-1 pitch that wasn't in the kind of zone you expect a pitcher to swing at.
Well, you'd think he would have just been taking all the way right there. That might be a situation where the manager leaves it up to an experienced player. He's shaking his head. No, what did I just do?
Now the count's full, and anything close, he has to protect the plate. Kruk backs off at first. There goes the runner. He does protect the plate.
And Ben's in a situation where you'd like him to cut loose with a fastball and strike him out, but he's probably almost hesitant to do that now for fear of throwing a pitch high or low or something like that. So he almost looked like he just aimed that 3-2 pitch.
Ground ball gets past John Kruk in the right field. So Brian Hickerson has another hit. Wes Chamberlain fumbles the ball. Now the throw back to first, and Rivera almost snuck in to get the runner. But Brian Hickerson now has 3 hits on the year after coming into the season batting at 091, and the Giants have runners on the corners with 2 away.
Here's Chamberlain, bobbles the ball, and then he throws behind a very dangerous play with a pitcher covering. And they almost got him anyway, but you know, you see the throw behind, you worry about that. Johnny Padres out there talking to Rivera, who started to lose a little bit here in this inning.
Did he aim that one too?
I thought so.
Yeah.
It looked like he just didn't throw it, you know, the way he has been. He just wanted to get a strike. And see right here, this is probably down from velocities from pitches he's thrown earlier in the ball game because he's just trying to throw a strike.
Hickerson's not going to pull a good fastball.
Exactly. You know, you would not be able to pull a good fastball in that situation.
That throw from Chamberlain almost picked off Hickerson in more than one way. It almost drilled him. That would have been painful for Hickerson, but would have been even more painful for the Phillies because Clayton would have scored. Now back to the top of the order, and Darren Lewis, who pounds one into the crowd.
Very important hitter for Ben Rivera.
Phillies trail at 2-1. That hit by Hickerson, the opposing pitcher, just the second for the Giants on the night. The other, a 2-run blast from Barry Bonds. That has provided the current score we have now. Runners on the corners with 2 away. This is up high and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. We had rain in the beginning of this ball game. Rain fell before the game to wipe out batting practice. But since that 18-minute rain delay in the top half of the first, so far we've been without precipitation. The 1-1 pitch, he tried to hack at that late, and it was 1-2.
You could get Darren Lewis to chase high fastballs, especially ahead in the count, if you're ahead of him. That time it was a 1-1 pitch that he went after.
So far, Ben has struck out 2. He's ahead of the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Did not chase there, 2-2. Lewis really came over in a bit of a steal for the Giants. Time started his career with Oakland. He was traded with a player to be named later for Ernest Riles. It's 2-2 on Darren Lewis with a couple of runners aboard. Now the count is full. That means the pitcher, Brian Hickerson, gets a head start off first base. And Robbie Thompson waits on deck. Johnny Padres
doing what they don't want to do, and that's get the bullpen up in the 5th inning.
Big pitch here for Ben. Full count, 2 outs. Fouled back. We'll do it all again.
He didn't want it in that spot. That was a high fastball, but it was one that you could handle. There's Sean Bosky starting to throw, and Darren Lewis had a very good swing at that.
Coming into this inning, Rivera had not allowed a hit or a walk. In this inning, he's allowed 2 walks, 2 hits, including a home run. Full count pitch once again. Sent in the air, foul, right field side, heading towards the crowd and into the crowd. A lot of jackets in the crowd tonight with the rain falling. Let's take a look at the runners. Royce Clayton on third base. The pitcher, Brian Hickerson, on first. We're in the top half of the 5th inning, and the Giants own a 2-1 lead. And Darren Lewis has a full count. Dalton wants the fastball, and he sets up inside. He gets it there, and he jams him. He pops it up. John Kruk gives it a look right near the stands. He reaches and just can't make the play. He came within a couple of feet of making a fine play over the railing.
These two guys are really excited about having the baseball. And fans think that maybe that they might have interfered with Kruk's ability to make this play. Let's see if anybody does. Well, that guy right there reached, and yeah, it certainly didn't help Kruk. I mean, this is a home crowd. You should really get out of the way. But, you know, people get excited when they get a chance to catch a foul ball. Oh, yeah, Kruk might have caught that if that guy hadn't touched it. Definitely.
His glove was right there. 3-2 pitch, fouled back to the screen.
And Lewis had a real good swing at that pitch. You see Kruk's disappointment when he was over there near the stands, because he made a heck of an effort stretching as far as he could to catch that ball.
People in the first 2 rows made no effort for the ball. The guy in the 3rd row who reached over and interfered slightly. Hopefully for the Phillies, it will not cost them, as Rivera again ready for the 3-2 pitch. All 4, the bases are jammed. 3rd walk of the ball game, 3rd walk of the inning. That has the stomachs in the dugout a little bit uneasy right now.
Checking to see if he's ready. You know, sometimes you have young pitchers and you're going to count on them. You just got to pitch out of some situations. And Bosky has not pitched all that well either. It's not like you're bringing in a guy that you feel all that comfortable with.
Fouled back to the screen, 0-1. A little bit of a gut check for Ben Rivera. He has the bases full of Giants. Royce Clayton at 3rd. Brian Hickerson, the pitcher, on 2nd. Darren Lewis on 1st. 2 outs and an 0-1 count to Robbie Thompson, who has been struggling 0 for 2 tonight, batting at .222 on the season. That's in the dirt. Good block by Dalton. 1-1.
Ben trying to throw a perfect breaking ball now. As a result, he's getting them a little bit too low and out of the strike zone where the hitter won't even chase it. You know, you need to have that ball in the air a little bit longer before it starts spinning down for the hitter to see it and then chase it. Try to throw that perfect breaking ball. Pitcher has a tendency to pull it too hard and bounce it, you know, a little quicker the way he just did.
Ben will work out of the windup with the bases full. The 1-1 pitch didn't get Thompson to chase it. Again, this is low and outside. 2-1.
Now he's gotten to a spot where he has to throw a fastball, and Robbie Thompson knows it.
Thompson, career high last year in home runs, likes the fastball. Hit 19 last year. 2-1 pitch, popped high in the air. Pete Incaviglia comes in left field. Way up in the Phillies sky, he squeezes, and the Giants leave the bases full. They do score a couple on the 2-run home run by Barry Bonds. We head to the bottom half of the 5th. Giants 2, Phils 1.
Now you can play bingo anytime, anywhere. Pennsylvania Lottery Bingo. It's portable bingo. Pennsylvania Lottery Bingo tickets are so popular, people will do anything to get them. It's portable bingo.
Where are they going?
Shopping.
9 out of 10 use it. All aboard! The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
Dear car owners, not everyone knows a car's suspension consists of the shocks, struts, steering, and alignment.
Another thing not everyone knows, Midas is a suspension expert.
So if your car pulls, shimmies, or bounces, come to Midas for a thorough inspection and a guarantee on shocks and struts for as long as you own your car. That's the Midas way.
Nationwide Insurance Enterprise. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent in Lansdowne is Bernie Carr.
Hey, a terrific gift item for all kids 14 and under. A large-size growth chart featuring the Fanatic and Darren Dalton. Full color and extra big. Compliments of Mid-Atlantic Milk Marketing Association. It's a great gift item. Make sure to make your plans early. Order your tickets easily by phone, calling 463-1000 or by stopping by one of the many local Ticketmaster outlets.
Said that Robbie Thompson would look for a fastball here. Ben Rivera has to throw him one. He throws him a high fastball out of the strike zone, and Thompson likes the ball up, and he goes after it. But it looks like it's a little too high for him to drive. It was. See, that's a tough pitch to get on top of. When you say a hitter likes a high fastball, he doesn't like them that high necessarily. So Ben got a break there because the hitter chased the fastball. But he did get out of the inning, and that's what's important.
Coming into the inning, Big Ben had thrown 51 pitches. Coming out of the inning, he had thrown 90 pitches. 39 pitches in the fifth. Giants have a 2-1 lead. Phils have the top of their order, including Lenny Dykstra, who has flied to center and flied to left. Dude looking at an 0 for 22 against Southpaws 94. Takes a pitch high and away, 1-0. Mentioned Colorado defeated the Cubs earlier today. Cincinnati leads Florida 5-3 in the sixth. Montreal leads San Diego 2-1 in the seventh. The Dodgers and Mets are tied at 2 in the fourth. Atlanta and Pittsburgh 3-3 in the sixth, and we'll have the full scoreboard for you in the eighth inning. 2-0 the count to Len Dykstra, leading off the fifth inning. 3-0. It's a long inning for Hickerson to sit in the dugout.
A cool, damp evening here at Veterans Stadium.
.30 pitches right over. It's 3-1. Ball is pulled but hit well. It's 3-2. Dykstra, Mariano Duncan, John Kruk facing Brian Hickerson, who now owns a 2-1 lead. Hickerson picking up a win in his last outing. Ground ball in and out of the Phillies dugout. Count stays full on Dykstra. Brian Hickerson coming into the inning had thrown 52 pitches. Working a few pitches here to Dykstra. The count stays full. That ball is ripped past Todd Benzinger. And a fan grabs it. That was a fair ball. Lenny will get 2 bases out of it. Fan interference causing the ground rule double.
And that little guy right there has himself a souvenir, but they're going to probably ask him to leave now, unfortunately, for that guy. He can't touch a fair ball. Lenny very happy happy to get this. He rips a 3-2 fastball from Hickerson. The turf is very, very wet, and Benzinger is just an average first baseman. The kid made a heck of a play on that. Too bad.
It's going to cost him his seat, maybe. Dykstra has his first hit against the left-hander.
Oh, maybe they just gave him a warning. That's nice. I was hoping they wouldn't kick him out of the ballpark. Or relocate him is what they might do. That's nice.
Kind of fitting that on Dykstra's first hit against the lefty,
he did make
left-handed.
He did make a nice play, though.
Yes, he did. The right glove. Duncan now with a runner on second. Dykstra represents a tie game and nobody out. Mariano has reached base twice. The pitch to him is a breaking ball inside for a ball, 1-0.
And here's where you have to get into situational baseball, and the Phillies have to get fundamentally sound the way they did last season to start playing well again, and that's move a runner. And Mariano does that very well. Hickerson just threw him a breaking ball to try and speed up his bat so he'd pull the ball and maybe not move Dykstra.
To the right side, the ball's hit well. Fair ball all the way to the corner. Dykstra scores easily. This is also a ground rule double, and the Phillies have the game tied at 2.
Todd, remember we talked about earlier that when Dykstra gets on, it makes Duncan better, and that's the example because Duncan now gets into situational hitting where he's looking to drive a ball the other way. Well, he not only drives the ball the other way, he gets a double and an RBI out of it, and that's why Lenny Dykstra is so important for him to get on base. It was a fastball turned over a little bit, and Duncan hits it hard the other way, gets the ground rule double. Those are the things that happen when your leadoff man gets on.
Great shot from behind home plate. You could see the ball turning away a little bit. A perfect pitch to go the other way with. Duncan did it well. RBI number 14 for Mariano. And now he represents the go-ahead run at second base for John Kruk.
Kruk is really talking to himself in this at-bat about advancing the runner and pulling the ball. Last time up, John wasn't able to do that. And he's very good at it. He's this totally unselfish offensive player.
There's a ball sent into center field for a base hit. Around third comes Duncan. The Phillies take a 3-2 lead on the RBI by John Kruk.
Real nice base running by Duncan, too. The shortstop, Clayton, had jumped in behind, and Hickerson pitched anyway. And Kruk just hits it off the end of the bat. He's trying to move the runner, gets a fastball away. Duncan reads it very well off the bat and scores. Now, John didn't hit it very well. In fact, it stung his fingers a little bit, but he'll take it.
The Phillies, who have had trouble this year against left-handers, now take a 3-2 lead on Brian Hickerson.
You see Dusty Baker pointing. I think they're going to make an appeal to third that Duncan missed third base as the bullpen gets up. Matt Williams points to himself. Me, you want me to go over there? And they said, yeah.
So Hickerson will work out of the stretch and then step off the rubber and make the appeal play to third base. Hollins steps in there. But before he takes a hack, the Giants apparently will go for the appeal play.
Well, they wanted him to.
Well, they're not going to after all. Apparently Matt Williams told him he touched the bag.
That's exactly what happened.
So Hollins will bat. He grounds one towards Matt Williams, but just foul. Hollins 0 for 2, struck out looking and grounded out. Dave's still looking to get that right-handed swing going. Hasn't had a chance to bat right-handed often. Bills leading at 3-2. Giants took a 2-1 lead. Bills have come back here in the bottom half as you take a look at Dave Burba, who is warming up for the Giants. That's a pitch right down the middle. 0-2. Brian Hickerson coming in with an ERA that was good enough for second in the National League, but he didn't have enough innings pitched. Tonight he's allowed 3, all earned, and we're in the 5th, as you see. Kruk just a foot off the bag. More of a courtesy throw over there. John's not going to do a whole lot of running right now.
No, he's not going to go anywhere. There they are, and they work very, very well together. And you just saw it in this inning.
Swing and a miss. Hollins goes down For the second time tonight, both strikeouts from Hickerson.
Hickerson throwing fastball, breaking ball, and forkball. And that was a breaking ball.
So now Darren Dalton, one away, a runner on first base. Picked up his first hit against Hickerson career-wise his last time up. It was good for a 2-out RBI and gave the Phils a 1-0 lead at the time. The ball is hit well to left center field. Darren Lewis back to the track, to the wall, and makes the catch. Kruk has to retreat after rounding second base, and he gets back to first.
It's a home run a lot of nights. But it's damp, as we mentioned. It's a damp and kind of cool night, and the ball just didn't carry enough, but Dalton creamed it. Darren Lewis is a very good outfielder. You see him look for the wall, look for the warning track, and he knows he had it all the way. But Darren's hit 2 balls to deep center field tonight. And you may say, well, that's not good. Well, in Dalton's case, that means he's swinging the bat well when he hits it out in that direction, and he hits home runs that way also. But tough atmospheric conditions, hit opposite field home run tonight.
So now Chamberlain bats with 2 away, and he takes a pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. Wes 0 for 2 in his first Veterans Stadium appearance of 1994. Wes coming in with a .316 mark, all on the road trip. That is ripped into center field for a base hit. Lewis plays it off the wet turf, and the Phillies have a couple aboard with 2 outs, and that ball was scalded up the middle.
I wonder if, here he comes. The way they're starting to hit Hickerson, you figured Incaviglia wasn't going to get a shot at him. Just a fastball right down the middle, and Chamberlain, a hard base hit the center field, and Hickerson will leave the ball game. Probably.
Dusty Baker, see if he carries the hook with him. Walks out to the mound. Dave Burba has been warming up. Right-hander Pete Incaviglia waits on deck as he talks to his left-handed starter.
Nothing yet. He's just talking to him.
Could be buying time. Burba hasn't thrown all that much in this inning.
It's hard to believe he's going to let Incaviglia face him. Well, he is.
A long discussion from Dusty, but he leaves his starter in there with 2 outs and 2 on. Incaviglia has doubled into left center field and grounded out.
You talk about a guy that a big hit could get going right here. Incaviglia needs some things for his confidence right now. A base hit and an RBI could really help.
The Krucker's on second base, and Wes Chamberlain on first with 2 outs. In the dirt, good block by Manwaring. 1-0. That was a tough pitch to block.
Breaking ball.
Way out in front of the plate.
Manwaring in this situation just wants to block the ball. He's not worried about catching it, and that's exactly what he did. Shifted, knowing the breaking ball is going to spin the opposite direction. Very fine play. That is a textbook way to block a breaking ball in the dirt.
First Gold Glove of the year last year. There may be a few more to follow. Incaviglia with runners on first and second and 2 outs. Breaking ball swung on top of it, 1-1.
That message might have been, don't throw him a fastball, because he's thrown him breaking ball changeups on the first two pitches. So it's as if, well, if he's going to hurt you, it's going to be on those pitches.
High in the air, Lewis broke in originally, but now he drifts back, and he makes the play. Incaviglia just got under it, but the Phillies take the lead here in the 5th. Couple of runs, 4 hits in the inning. We head to the 6th. Phils 3-2.
When it comes to conversion vans, we know how to help. Start with this Ram cargo van and the power of its Magnum engine. Choose the 5.9-liter V8 and you'll have the highest towing ratings of any comparable van around. Next, our factory-approved converters can give you this seat style, this one, or this one. You can even get a VCR, TV, CD player, a cell phone, video games. But before you add anything, be sure to subtract this. And that equals the Dodge Ram conversion van. See your nearest Dodge dealer today. We know how to help.
Pardon me, where are you going with all that Bud Light?
For the Lee family reunion.
Then I'm here for the Lee family reunion.
You're a member of the Lee family.
Yes, I am.
Right this way.
你是李中的老大。
Sure, sure.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
你真有点像他。
National League champion Phillies continue their defense of the title this May on Prism. You'll see exclusive coverage of games against the Padres, the Expos, the Mets, and the return of the Wild Thing Wheels, the Astros, all live from the vet right here on Prism.
And the Wild Thing has been exciting.
Speaking of Wild Things, the Fanatic will be celebrating a birthday Sunday. He and Wendell Kim have a little bit of fun in between innings here as we head to the 6th.
Wendell Kim at one time was a high school football opponent of our broadcast partner Gary Maddox.
Is that right?
Yes, he was.
We look forward to seeing Gary back with us shortly. He's away with a family emergency. He'll be back with us. We hope on Monday as Todd Benziger leads things off. You see what Benziger has done. Both ground outs, both to Mariano Duncan. It's 3-2 Phils as we head to the 6th, and Ben Rivera starts them all with a fastball that he tips foul for a strike one.
It's a very important inning for Ben Rivera. They got him a lead. They wanted to pitch at least one more inning to stay away from the bullpen to the 7th inning if possible. And he just got out of a big jam last inning.
Rip foul over the guy we were talking about's head, Wendell Kim. It's 0-2.
You could possibly see, as you look at Wendell Kim there, them hit for Ben Rivera in the 6th inning. Right, depending on what kind of an inning he has here.
90 pitches coming in. He's thrown 2 to Benziger, and he's ahead 0-2. Up high for a ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Big Ben has walked 3 in the ballgame, all 3 walks coming in the 5th. He's also allowed 2 hits, both of those coming in the 5th. Giants scoring their 2 runs in the 5th. 0-2 pitches sent high in the air into shallow left field. Easy play for Inky. And there's 1 away. Wheels, we have to congratulate you as well as the rest of the Phillies announce crew on being awarded the gold medal from the Philadelphia Public Relations Association. Be honored at a luncheon May the 2nd. It's a pretty nice award, nice compliment.
That is very, very nice, and we're very, very honored. The only bad part of that is going to be that Fregosi is going to speak at that.
About you guys?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he'll be there.
May the 2nd. Here's Matt Williams taking one outside for a ball, 1-0.
He's already told me, and my mother is going to attend. A lot of our families are going to attend. My mother, he's already said he's going to tell my mother he'd like to slap her for having me. So that's his warm-up for that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
1-0 the count to Williams outside for a ball, 2-0.
He will not divulge what he wants to say about your father, Andy, or his whiteness.
That'll be a fun night.
Yeah, it should
fun
be.
day. Great community service you guys provide to this city of brotherly love.
I guess.
You add to the brotherly love. Here's a high fly ball. This is way up in the air. Incaviglia has all night to wait for it. Finally makes the catch for the 2nd out.
That's a good way to break in your glove. That kind of fly ball. That is a major league fly ball by a strong man, Matt Williams. When a hitter hits a ball like this, a power hitter, normally it means that he's close to hitting a home run.
When Mike Ryan caught that ball from the helicopter, it wasn't much further up than that.
That was a high one. Bonds is getting booed. He loves that.
What a surprise there. He was getting booed before his 2-run home run. And he pops one up. This one foul. Dalton gives it a look, but it's heading towards the crowd.
See, Todd, that's what we talked about last time when he was up, how he likes to swing first ball fastball. They stayed away from it last time with a runner on base. and threw him a breaking ball and missed, and then came back and he hit the ball out of the ballpark ahead in the count. There he went after a first ball fastball. He is probably one of the few left-handed hitters you're going to see who's a better high ball hitter than low ball.
Pitch misses high for a ball. It's 1-1. We're going to take a look at what he did his last at bat.
He got it off, and he knew it.
Gets enough of this one to send it into right field for a base hit. He's a 2-out base runner with the Giants. Third hit of the ball game, his second. Couple of pretty good players right there. Father, son.
As you said, it's good to see Bobby back too, because he had some problems, some chest pains in Atlanta and was hospitalized for several days.
No other father-son tandem has hit more home runs in the big leagues than those two. Barry slowly catching his dad. Bobby hit 332. Barry now has 227. Not so slowly the last few years. Here's Dave Martinez with Bonds, Barry that is, on first, and 2 outs. Called strike.
So we want to stay with this guy because Martinez looks to jerk balls in certain situations, and this could be one of them with them down by a run. And he's a middle-in hitter.
Phillies lead at 3-2. We're in the 6th. First of 3 with the NL West leading San Francisco Giants. Bonds gets back.
See, that was Dalton gave a sign there that he wanted Ben Rivera to move over to first, thinking that Bonds is considering running in this situation in a one-run ball game. And Bonds can steal a base when he wants to. Ben Rivera has the high leg kick, so Dalton said, move over there and help me out a little bit.
Dalton threw out Bonds in the second inning. Second time Barry's been caught this year. He has 4 steals. Now they want to set up away from Martinez with the 0-1 pitch. It's away, but a little too far away. 1-1. A lot of times you hit that glove and you get the call. This time Ed Rapuano said it was outside.
Guy's done a good job behind the plate tonight. You've seen very few hitters even look at their feet, let alone turn around and look at him.
The umpire's on behind the plate. You don't notice him. 1-1 pitch. Fouled out of play. It's 1-2.
They continue to keep everything away from Martinez in this situation.
Larry Rosen will have another of his Mining the Minors features coming up after this half inning. Former LaSalle standout James Ambrosius will be the feature tonight. He's got some family ties to the Phillies. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dave Martinez. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big Ben has his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. We head to the bottom half of the 6th with the Phils leading 3-2. Now it's time for Mining the Minors. Tonight, Larry Rosen visits with a Phils farmhand with a long connection to the franchise, the grandson of whiz kid Granny Hamner, James Ambrosius.
Jimmy Ambrosius is one of those players that can capture the imagination of us all. The grandson of whiz kid Granny Hamner. From Collingswood High School to LaSalle University, where he was a pitcher, Jimmy was signed after a private tryout at the Vet last fall. This spring, his first as a pro, the stars were still in his eyes.
It reminds me more of a boyhood type dream or something, because I mean, I followed a lot of these guys. I mean, I was a little too young for guys like Dave Cash and stuff, but you heard a lot about them. And, you know, just a lot of these guys were, you know, talking about my grandfather, were really respecting my grandfather. And it's just, this seems to be a real classy organization. I mean, just from up top to the bottom, there's good people here, and that's the main reason why I really jumped at the opportunity to play with these guys.
And Granny Hamner, a mainstay of that 1950 whiz kid, a shortstop on that ball club, and we were lucky enough to have known Granny Hamner very, very well over the years. He spent a lot of time with us at Dream Week and here in the ballpark, and one of the really great people you ever want to meet, Granny Hamner. And unfortunately, we lost him last year late in the season, and everybody really misses The guy that used to call Hambone all the time. We wish his grandson a lot of luck. Well, remember on Sunday, that's this Sunday with the Giants, it's another birthday celebration for the Fanatic, plus all children 14 and under receive a terrific cap featuring the Fanatic on the front, compliments of tasty cake. So make sure that you make your plans early to come on out for this always festive day. Order your tickets easily by phone. Call the Phils at 463-1000 or stop by any one of the many local Ticketmaster locations. Kim Baptiste, Ben Rivera will bat. He had a pretty easy inning, actually, so they're going to let him go another inning. And then the top of the order, Lenny Dykstra. Baptiste 1 for 2 with a single. And he takes a first pitch, a breaking ball outside, ball 1.
Grounds this one to Matt Williams. Gloves it on one big hop, and that's the first out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Ben Rivera will stay in the ball game. We had contemplated or talked about the fact that he may be pinch hit for, but he had a pretty strong 6th.
Exactly, Todd. That's what it depended upon, I think, on whether or not he struggled in that 6th inning. You know, he had a point in this game where you could just see it in the manager's face. He had a great shot of him in the dugout. Pitched through it. You've got to get out of your own jams once in a while. You're going to be a big league pitcher. And Fregosi knows how to handle pitchers. He let him pitch and he got out of it. And that was in the 5th inning, and then he had a strong 6th, and now at least he'll pitch his ball club into the 7th inning, and the Phillies need that.
After allowing the 2-run home run in the 5th, the Phils got 2 more back for him in the bottom half of the inning for the 3-2 lead. That's where we stand now. Big Ben takes a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Hickerson with the next one that misses low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Hickerson's allowed 8 hits and a couple of walks through 5 innings, and he's behind in the count to Ben Rivera. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Just what happened. Ben got behind him, and then wound up giving a base hit. Pitcher, that'll happen sometimes, and nobody knows more than the pitcher. I can't be walking this guy, and they start aiming it, and something bad will happen.
Hickerson helped out Rivera with a swing 3-1. No way from Ben. He takes ball 4 with 1 out. Big Ben Rivera is a base runner.
Well, you can see how tentative ball 3 and ball 4 were. He just kind of aimed it up there. And it'll happen so many times when a pitcher gets behind his opposite number.
Ben will get the jacket over at first base.
I think you just read Dusty Baker's lips, and he said he wants Jim Fry to get up. Not Jim Fry.
Steve Fry.
Steve Fry. Jim Fry used to be with the Cubs.
That would be trouble if he was up in the ball.
Yeah, and Steve Fry we know because there he is right there. We know Steve Fry, of course, from Bucks County Community College and coming from this area.
Lenny Dykstra, who had his first hit of the year against the left-hander his last time up, led off the 5th. The inning, the Phils scored 2 to regain the lead. Now he's got Rivera on first base and 1 out. Outside with a breaking ball, 1-0. Once Lenny starts hitting the left-handers, this average will start rising. Right now it's at 227. Pitching coach Dick Paul will come out.
He's just going to stall a little bit. He doesn't normally make pitching changes, and they just got Steve Fry up in the bullpen.
Fry's thrown all of about 7 pitches out there, so this is a stall tactic. We'll see how long it takes Ed Rapuano to come out from behind home plate. We're in the bottom half of the 6th. Phils leading 3-2.
Here's the Bucks County native warming up in the bullpen.
And you know, a new month starts Sunday night, and that means a new lineup of movies on Prism. This May, you'll see hits like Made in America, Dennis the Menace, and Of Mice and Men. It's a better variety of movies this May on Prism. We're only about 26 hours away from the month of May. Some April showers tonight before the ball game.
Phillies having a very, very poor April. Looking forward to getting into May and the warmer weather. They won't have to worry about that next week. They'll be in Florida and Atlanta.
Pitch is up high for a ball. It's now 2-0 to Lenny Dykstra. Mariano Duncan, who waits on deck, one of the few batters ever to step out of the batter's box because of a snowflake in his eye. That happened this year in Colorado.
Yeah, that's right. The season began in a snowstorm. Began in a snowstorm, and we spent 2 days in Los Angeles where there was no batting practice because of rain.
Lately, it's been a bit of a fog for the Phils.
They hope to turn it around tonight. They're leading 3-2. Dykstra has a 3-0 count to against Brian Hickerson, who's really starting to struggle with the plate here. He is near the end of the rope. Ball 4 on 4 pitches to Dykstra. That's 2 consecutive walks to the pitcher and now to Dykstra. Hickerson, who doesn't walk many, has now walked 4 in the ball game, and they're just stalling. Kurt Manwaring is going out to align the defenses, but Hickerson doesn't have many pitches left.
And there's no right-hander out there either, and Duncan, of course, is going to hit here. You see Fry, and I know they would like to use him against Kruk, but he has no right-hander up for Duncan, so maybe he's going to try and get one more hitter out of him.
He's missed on 8 of the last 9 pitches, and that has that man pacing the visiting dugout. Mariano Duncan having a great night. 2 for 2, 2 runs scored, knocked in a run. He's got a couple aboard here. Swings through the changeup, 0-1.
Good pitch. This Duncan's a first ball fastball hitter, and they know that. And Dunk was trying to really drive a fastball there, and he got that changeup.
Talked about 203 being an unusual number next to Mariano Duncan's name. Well, he's raised that 22 points. He's at 225 heading into this AB.
Ben Rivera does not run well. He will be tough for Boa to score from second base on a ball hit right at a fielder. There is Ben. It's not that Ben doesn't want to run a little better than he does. He just can't. Now they have the right-hander up. That's Rich Monteleone, who used to be with the Yankees. Monteleone.
And there's lefties coming up.
Well, Hollins. Yeah. You know, they'd rather him bat left-handed, I guess.
1-1 the count to Duncan. This is sent deep to left field. Barry Bonds going back to the track, and he's watching this. 3-run home run, Mariano Duncan.
That's why we were a little surprised, Todd, you know, that with all the right-handers out there, that he didn't have one ready for Duncan. But Phillies will take it.
What a ball game so far for Mariano. 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs, 2 doubles, a home run, 8 total bases, and the Phillies lead 6-2.
And Chento just donated another $200 to the Child Guidance Center for that home run by Mariano Duncan.
Well, Dusty Baker's probably thinking about this a little bit longer on his way out to the mound. He maybe thought about pulling him a batter earlier, but he kept with his starter, Brian Hickerson, and Mariano Duncan turned it into a 3-run home run.
And the problem with pulling him a batter earlier was he still had a left-hander to bring in. So he stays with a left-hander in this situation, Hickerson, and Mariano Duncan gets a fastball high, and he loves the ball up and hits it out of the ballpark.
Nice looking swing. Steve Fry will be the new pitcher. Phils take a big 6-2 lead on the 3-run home run by Mariano Duncan. We're back in a minute.
Tip your hat to this one. It's the Fanatic's birthday, and kids 14 and under get a free cap with a Fanatic on front, compliments of Tasty Cake when the Phillies play the Giants. Sunday, May 1st at 1:35. For tickets, call 463-1000.
Sherwin-Williams. Look what's new at Sherwin-Williams. Want a new coat of paint at a great price? Style Perfect Interior Flat is on sale, $9.99 a gallon. Need a paint that really holds up against stains? Try new Everclean. How about wallpaper? Thousands of the newest patterns are on sale. It's all here, plus the friendly advice you need at your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Sherwin-Williams New Look Sale. Come in for a better look. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
Mariano Duncan has been on base all 4 times with 2 doubles, a home run, a walk, including this big blast, Wheels.
Yeah, here it is again. Hickerson was starting to run out of gas. You could see that when he walked Rivera. And then Lenny Dykstra, and they go one more hitter with him, and Dykstra made him pay with a big 3-run home run. Right off that Giants logo.
Brian Hickerson, who started 3 previous games, his longest outing was 7 innings in his career. Gets tagged here in the 7th, and Steve Fry is the new pitcher.
And the Phillies have had little or no luck with Hickerson as we look at Steve Fry loosening right now. And tonight they hit him around a little bit.
Steve Fry appearing in his 8th game on the season. He's been hit hard lately, has that ERA in the double digits right now. 6 earned runs his last 4 appearances, entailing only 2 innings, including a 3-run blast by Darren Dalton.
Right, in a game of Candlestick when the Phillies were out there recently, and the game that the Phillies won on the road trip.
Well, 3-run home run in this inning has the Phillies on top 6-2 as John Kruk steps in. Krucker has reached base a couple of times with a single and a walk. He has a run batted in. He takes the pitch outside from Fry, 1-0. Stephen Francis Fry, William Tennant High School in Warminster, Pennsylvania. Went to Bucks County Community College. Left-hander's 31 years of age. Pitch down low, it's 2-0. Born in Southampton, PA. Last year, career best in games with 55, saved 13 for the California Angels.
The Phillies have seen Fry prior to this in the uniform of the Expos.
And Fry has come out of the bullpen and missed with 3 in a row. It's 3-0. Coming out of William Tennant High, he had a chance to sign with Milwaukee, offered a free agent contract, but decided to go to Bucks County Community College. He was drafted by the New York Yankees. Also spent some time with the Mets, then as Wheels mentioned Montreal, then over to the American League with California. 3-1 to John Kruk. He sends one the other way. Barry Bonds playing there. This is deep. Bonds to the wall, jumps and makes a tremendous Barry Bonds type catch. Gold Glover 4 times. That's why.
Yeah, Bonds tries to be a little cooler than that normally, but he had no choice because that wall came up in a hurry. He's playing fairly shallow like he does a lot of hitters, and he doesn't have much time to find the wall. He's got to jump. Another great athletic play by Bonds, but nowhere near as cool as he usually makes him look. Because he's in a little trouble there.
Didn't get a chance to snatch that one. When Kruk hits one against the wall, results in an out. Here's Dave Hollins. Hollins takes one outside for a ball, 1-0. Hollins still looking for that groove, hitting right-handed. 0 for 3 tonight. Called strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Crocker just missed it.
John Kruk's done an amazing job since coming back.
Tend to forget about the radiation treatments, the way he's hit.
He's a different person.
1-2 as that pitch is fouled back.
Think about the original prognostication was it might be the end of May before he came back. And not only was that off by about 6 weeks, but he's come back and played so well. Guy has a lot of, well, guts, I guess the best way to put it. I mean, he has that fire in him that you know, you want players to have, and it's tough for everybody to be that way. I mean, he just loves to play and he wants to be in there all the time.
So does the guy at the plate who's behind the count 1-2, and he continues to struggle hitting right-handed. It's a 3rd strikeout against Hollins tonight. All 3 of the Giants pitcher strikeouts. We head to the 7th. Phillies lead at 6-2.
It's the dawn of a new generation. The new generation of clean gasoline. A breakthrough in technology from Texaco that can clean up over time what came before. An advanced system of engine cleaning in every octane drain for the highest performance, lower emissions, and improved mileage. Texaco introduces the gasoline that's changing what gasoline can do. New Clean System 3. Give us 60 days and watch what can happen.
When Bob borrowed a lawnmower, all he got was short grass. When Bob borrowed hedge clippers, all he got was nice shrubs. When Bob borrowed a ladder, all he got was red shutters. When Bob borrowed a hose, all he got was wet. But when Bob borrowed money, he got indispensable banking services. The Mellon PSFS Smart Accounts. The package accounts for people who borrow as well as save.
Mr. Wilson here?
Doesn't Mr. Wilson get up real early?
Usually.
You know what I do? When my dad's asleep, he doesn't want to be.
Oh.
You have to play by their rules. You have to roll with the punches. You have to expect the unexpected.
Dennis the Menace.
This one will suit you to a T. Shirt. Women 15 and over receive a free oversized T-shirt, compliments of Thriftway, when the Phillies pummel the Pirates Sunday, May 15th at 1:35. Call 463-1000.
Big 3-run home run by Mariano Duncan has the Phils ahead 6-2 as we head to the 7th inning. Rains early, but it has become a pleasant late April evening as we are just around the corner from the month of May. Dave Burba is throwing in the Giants bullpen. The Giants will have the bottom third of their order due up. Steve Fry, who was in there for just 2 batters, will probably be lifted, and Burba will be the new pitcher. It'll be Clayton Kurt Manwaring and a pinch hitter for Steve Fry here in the 7th against Ben Rivera. Ben's allowed 3 hits and 3 walks through 6. Royce Clayton has reached base on one of those walks. He's also flied out to center field. ...102 pitches thus far for Rivera, and the 103rd is outside and low for a ball, 1-0. That 5th inning was really the only inning Rivera got in any kind of trouble in, with 3 walks, 2-run home run, and another hit. He'll be closely monitored here in the 7th as he misses outside to Clayton, 2-0.
Oh yeah, they'll get the bullpen up fast, and one thing you don't want to do is give something back right away, as the Phillies have lacked that killer instinct this year.
3-0.
Want to jump on a team and then get them out the next inning.
So far in Ben's starts this year, he's lasted no longer than 6 full innings, and he is pitching into the 7th here tonight. Took a look at David West as Royce Clayton walks on 4 pitches to start the 7th. That's walk number 4 issued by Big Ben. He's now walked 4 or more in 4 of his 5 starts. It's a total he would like to see reduced.
Patterson's moved into the on-deck circle, switch hitter, much better left-handed hitter than right, to bat for Fry.
Straight out of the strike zone to start the 7th. Slocum and West heated up. Slocum, the right-hander. 6-2 Phillies. Clayton a leadoff walk. 1-0 the count on Kurt Manwaring, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Manwaring does not agree, and he steps out of the batter's circle. 1-1 the count on the Giants catcher. Bill's hoping to start off this 6-game homestand on a winning note after a very tough swing out in the West Coast. The 1-1 pitch, ripped, just foul. We're starting to get ahead of these pitches. 1-2.
Boy, that was close.
Well, Kurt Manwaring was batting .329 instead of .169. He'd have that hit in the 2nd inning, or in the 3rd inning rather, where he lined it right at Incaviglia, and that would have stayed fair. Instead, he's 0 for 2, and he's behind in the count 1-2.
Now, if he's really going bad, he'll hit a little 6-4-3 action here.
Clayton will not be running down 6-2, but he leads the team in steals, but he is running, and it's a hit and run. How about that? 1-2. Manwaring struggling. He flies to right. Doesn't hurt.
I agree with you. I think he's running on his own then, Todd. I think he was just trying to. Manwaring was not happy with his effort then, as you could see. I think he was just trying to steal a base there, maybe make something happen. But, you know, that's a situation where you steal a base there, you better make it or attempt to steal one.
As it turns out, he's back on the bag. Bobby Bonds had a word or two for him, and it'll be the pinch hitter, John Patterson, stepping up. Patterson, here you see what he's done pinch hitting this year. As Wheels mentioned, he's become a much better hitter left-handed. Although in college, he was strictly a right-hand hitter. There goes Clayton. This ball is ripped to the crowd. Foul.
Well, that was a hit and run. Boy, Dusty Baker, he hit down by 4 runs, and they're playing hit and run. Or else, Darren Dalton's out there talking to Ben Rivera, or else Darren Dalton saying, you know, keep him a little bit closer. But that looked like it might have been hit and run that time. It's hard to believe they would do that down by 4. Clayton might just be running on his own again. That's why I say that Dalton went out to talk to Rivera about trying to keep him a little bit closer, because he's obviously trying to run.
Should have been running there. If he was running, he would have been in there. It's a pitch that gets away, but not far enough. It's 1-1 to John Patterson.
Well, Dalton, his message to Rivera was heated because Ben held the ball a little bit that time. And he made Clayton look and wait, and he was less likely to run. Plus, Clayton might have thought, well, maybe they'll even pitch out. I've shown it 2 times in a row. But you don't want to start messing around with pitch outs when you have a 4-run lead.
Foul tip. Ed Rapuano probably flinched a bit. 1-2. John Patterson hit a huge, there's the home plate umpire, hit a huge home run last year in that series down at Fulton County Stadium against the Braves.
Buck Wallers.
Yeah, September 1st.
That was a game that Hickerson pitched, in fact. Did so well for them that night.
Kept him in the ball game. As it turns out, Giants fell just 1 game short, but that was a huge game for San Fran at the time. 1-2 pitch misses down low. It's 2-2.
Pretty good curveball, and Patterson stayed off it.
Well, Ben's gone deeper into this game than any other game this season. It's now 6 1/3 innings in with a runner on first. There you see the count with 1 away. There goes the runner. Dalton tried to jump out of there a little early. It was fouled towards the Phillies dugout.
This is not a pitch out here either, but watch Dalton move. Patterson has to swing at it with 2 strikes. It was a strike, and Clayton, in my opinion, is just running on his own.
He's running off him.
Yep. 7 steals and 7 attempts, and he's trying to make it 8.
Get that confidence on the base pass up. He's staying. Now it's a full count. Now it makes sense. 3-2.
Sure.
Good contact hitter in Patterson.
This is where a catcher wants the umpire to give him a quick call. We'll go fastball away.
He's moving, grounded foul over Bobby Bonds' head towards the crowd.
Spun his wheels a little bit, did Clayton. And the pitch was inside more, I think, than Darren Dalton wanted it. Darren wanted a fastball away, which, if he can get him to swing through it, is a great pitch to throw on also. You not only stay out of that left-handed hitter's danger zone, but you have a good pitch for the catcher to handle. See if he goes back to it.
Grounded to the right side. Phillies stayed at home on the pull side, and it works out. Barry Allen Duncan makes the play. Kim Batiste was covering.
Right, and that, of course, is the correct play because Patterson's probably going to pull a 3-2 pitch. A lot of the coverage is dependent on the count, and in that case, you would definitely cover with a second base or with a shortstop.
So now 2 outs, a runner on second base, and Darren Lewis is the batter. Phil's lead at 6-2. Big Ben is looking for his 2nd win of the year. His other win coming against Colorado here at the vet. And he gets Lewis to pop it straight up right near the mound. Dave Hollins in front of the mound makes the call on the catch, and that'll do it for the Giants in the 7th. So a leadoff walk doesn't hurt Ben. Fans get a chance to stretch, so do we. Phil's leading 6-2.
the people of New England had a secret. A secret that guarded them from the harsh weather. A secret that protected their wooden vessels from the raging storms. And what they used to protect their wood, you can use to protect yours. Wood preservatives, stains, clears. Cuprinol, we promise the best.
The feisty Phillies look to pummel the Pirates and ring Jay's bell. Thursday, May 12th and Friday, May 13th at 7:35. Saturday, May 14th at 7:05. And Sunday, May 15th at 1:35 when women 15 and over receive a free oversized T-shirt compliments of Thriftway. One neat gift and 4 big games against Dandy Andy and the Buccos. To order tickets by phone, call 463-1000.
No Republican candidate for governor has ever met a payroll or created a job. Except one, Sam Katz, the successful conservative businessman whose business is the best in the country at what it does, creating jobs. Sam Katz says cut school property taxes 30%, cut business taxes to create jobs, give parents control through school choice. Because Sam Katz is a businessman, not a politician. A Governor Katz will get it done.
I'm Dick Vermeil with a Blue Cross Blue Shield health tip. A tip on preventing most foot injuries. Foot injuries can be reduced by wearing the proper shoes for each activity. Shoes designed for specific activities usually offer the best protection. You can prevent bunions, corns, and calluses on your feet by wearing shoes that fit properly.
Phil's lead at 6-2 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Ben Rivera's longest outing of the year thus far.
What a job he's done. And Todd, you know, if he goes on and wins this game, the key will be back in 2 outs in the 5th inning when he went and got Robbie Thompson out on that 2-1 pitch. That was the big pitch of the ball game for him. It was the ball game for him.
New pitcher for the Giants is right-hander Dave Burba. 27 years of age, 6'4", 240-pounder. First man he will face is Darren Dalton. Dalton takes a called strike, 0-1.
Burba's one of those guys that got in the Seattle deal with Kevin Mitchell and Bill Swift being the big guy who's done such a good job for them. They like Burba. They think he's really improved.
Dave Burba on the season after a couple of nice outings against the Mets earlier this week. Last weekend, actually, in his 10th game of the year. 2.25 ERA. Fastball, slider, and changeup. Keeps the ball over the plate.
You know, there's nobody up in the Phillies bullpen right now.
So you would think that points to Rivera starting the 8th. 0-2 pitch to Dalton. Outside for a ball, 1-2.
Unless they get to his spot in the order and there are some men on and they want to go with a pinch hitter, as of right now it would appear that he will pitch the 8th inning, and it's not as if he's pitched a lot of innings this year. I mean, I know Fergosi's theory on guys is too sometimes he wants them to pitch some innings and extend them a little bit.
This could be that case. 1-2 up high for a ball, 2-2.
As long as he's not hurting them in any way. Last year there was criticism of him for pitching green and chilling so much, which was ridiculous as it turned out. And you know, that's a 6'6", 250-pound guy who hasn't thrown a whole lot of innings, so we'll see.
2-2 the count to Darren Dalton. He hits this one well to right field, but he got under it. Is it deep enough? Martinez at the wall makes the catch. Dalton has just missed hitting 3 balls out, and he's starting to shake his head a little bit. He can't believe it.
Yeah, he's really swung the bat well tonight. He just got under this. We mentioned earlier about Matt Williams, how he just missed one. Well, there's another definition of just missing one. Under it a little bit, and Martinez finds the wall and grabs it.
You don't see a guy standing at the wall for that many counts and have the ball stay in the park. Martinez got to the wall and waited and made the catch. Here's a high fly ball, but this is shallow into left field. Shallow enough for the infielders to take it. Royce Clayton over Matt Williams, and there's 2 away. So the Phils have 2 down here in the 7th. Chamberlain now 1 for 4 on the night. That'll bring up Pete Incaviglia.
And they just got Slocum up. He just started to throw in the bullpen.
Immediately following tonight's game, a teenage girl develops a deadly obsession for an older man and decides if she can't have him, then nobody else will. The thriller, The Crush, following our game tonight on Prism. Heathcliff Slocum now starting to throw in the pen, as Wheels mentioned. Here's Incaviglia taking one low for a ball, 1-0. Inky is doubled, grounded out and flied out. Facing a right-hander for the first time tonight. One 0 pitch is fouled back, 1-1. There's the first three hitters in reverse order.
They've had a good night, and Darren Dalton has one hit tonight and 3 bombs to the outfield for outs. He is really locked in, but only has the one hit to show for him.
He's got about 1,000 feet in outs and about 150 feet in his base hit.
And he ripped his base hit, too.
1-1 the count to Incaviglia. That's out of play. Now, you talked about that trade. Every once in a while, it's interesting to look back on a deal. That was Bill Swift and Mike Jackson, along with Dave Burba, for Kevin Mitchell and Mike Remlinger. Remlinger was a big prospect that never really panned out.
And all 3 of those guys are here right now for the Giants on their pitching staff and playing significant parts. Burba, Mike Jackson, who's closing for them with Beck out, and Bill Swift, who's one of the best in the league. Terrific trade for Kevin Mitchell.
And Mitchell's now in the NL Central. Here's a swing and a miss. Manwaring makes the tag for the final out here in the 7th. So the Phils go down in order to Dave Burba. Darren Dalton just misses his 7th home run of the year. We head to the 8th. Phils by 4.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Bob. How's it going, man?
How's it going, man?
Great. Game's almost done. Got any Bud Light?
Sorry, I'm fresh out.
Fresh out. Fresh out.
Well, I'm out of here.
Hide the Bud Light. Joe's coming over. Hide the Bud Light.
Big mouth.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Come on, where'd you hide the Bud Light?
It's in the garage. In the garage.
Oh, wow, this is excellent.
New from Amarol.
Oh, cool.
It's Easy Deck Wash. Wood Restorer.
Looks like a brand new fence. Golly.
It's easy, it's fast, it's amazing. But then again, it's from Amarol.
I thought the gray color was the natural color of the wood.
New Easy Deck Wash. We took the knowledge of Amarol and applied it to your home.
Phillies Baseball on Prism is brought to you by Dodge, a winning team, the championship Phillies, and the award-winning lineup of new cars and trucks at your local Dodge dealer. By Pico Energy. There's a new kind of energy around here, Pico Energy. And by RCA, home, theater, TV, RCA changing entertainment again.
Bill Thompson takes over in left field. He's now going to bat in the number 9 spot as the Phils make 3 changes. Jim Eisenreich comes into right for Wes Chamberlain, batting 6th. And batting 7th is the new pitcher for the Phillies. The right-hander Heathcliff Slocum takes over for Ben Rivera here in the 8th inning. Phillies leading 6-2. Slocum on for Rivera, who only allowed a couple of runs in 7 innings. Heathcliff appearing in his 10th game on the season. Last appeared Tuesday in Los Angeles. Last 3 games, he's picked up a few strikeouts, 5 in all. And he'll face the Giants here. Robbie Thompson will lead things off. He swings and misses, nothing in 1.
Good job tonight by Ben Rivera at a time when the Phillies desperately needed that from him.
And the guy at the plate, as you mentioned, was the pivotal hitter in that game tonight.
That's your ball game up to this point, the situation between Ben and Robbie Thompson in the 5th inning.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Giants had already scored 2. Ben had already thrown upwards of 35 pitches. And he got Thompson to fly out on a high 2-1 fastball.
David West is in the bullpen, and he's up for one reason. Barry Bonds, if it gets to that point.
And his initials are BB. Thompson takes it outside. It's 2-2. Robbie Thompson continuing to struggle. Tonight he's 0 for 3. He's popped up, flied out, and in that big at bat, flied out to left field. Stays alive by chopping it foul. Stays 2-2 to the Giants' second baseman.
Fregosi deciding to make the change now after 7 innings and wants Slocum because Thompson right-handed, Benziger a switch hitter who was a better right-handed hitter, and then another right-handed hitter in Matt Williams. So that's why they're going with Slocum here.
Ball's hit pretty well to right field, but Eisenreich is there in front of the track. He makes the stab for the first out. Oh, 1 out here in the 8th. That'll bring up Todd Benziger. Larry Anderson today, as we take a look at one of his bullpen mates, placed on the disabled list. Andy Carter has arrived. He's the latest addition to the Phil's 25-man roster and adds a little flexibility, Wheels, to the Phil's bullpen with a left-hander out there along with West.
Exactly.
Todd Benziger will be the batter here. He's 0 for 3, and he pops one foul, 0-1.
Obviously, Fregosi would rather have a healthy Larry Anderson after what Anderson did for him last year, but the knee is still a little bit sore, and they want him to go pitch and get his mechanics down and feel better about things, so he's going to be gone for a while.
And neither he nor Dr. Marone felt it was a setback at all. It was just a matter of getting some work in, where it doesn't count quite as much. 0-2 the count to Todd Benziger.
Right, because when Larry Anderson comes into the game, it's almost always on the line.
Now it's Heathcliff Slocum's turn with the Phils leading 6-2. Nice breaking ball swung through by Benziger. Slocum has pitched well as of late.
And he's the perfect pitcher for this inning with the hitters that are coming up, and so far he's gotten the job done. Hard breaking ball, and Benziger, who strikes out quite a bit from the left side, does it there.
Heathcliff now with 6 strikeouts in his last 5 innings. Now he's got Matt Williams to deal with, who walked and scored a run in the 5th. That's a line drive base hit into right center field. It scoots on the turf, but Dykstra does a good job holding Williams to a single. So he's a 2-out base runner with Barry Bonds, who will get a response from the crowd, strolling to the plate.
I mentioned that West was up for Bonds, and that, of course, was if Bonds were to come up and maybe had represented a tying run at this point, but they wouldn't make a pitching change here, I don't think.
It's turning into the player the fans love to boo the most.
And it just gets guys like this going even more.
Chases a pitch down around the ankle.
Remember the first ball fastball theory we talked about earlier in the game, Todd, and you know, you watch Bonds enough over the years, you know how he likes to chase fastballs. He's not getting them much tonight. That was a slider, and he went after it.
6-2 game. They'll let Matt Williams go. He's probably not moving anywhere. Fastball in on the hands. 1 ball and 1 strike. Barry Bonds struggling in the early part of the season. Didn't struggle in his second at bat tonight, hitting a 2-run home run off the level, the 4th level here at the vet, off the facing of the 400 level. He's also singled. And he's behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Bonds guessed wrong now. You know, Bonds, I think, thought a slider was coming, and he got a fastball, and he really wanted to pull the trigger, but it was too late. How many power hitters do you see choke up a little bit the way he does? He has great bat control.
He doesn't have a big bat anyhow before choking up. He hits one hard to short, but Batiste has it. He'll make the play to first. That'll do it for the Giants in the 8th. So Heathcliff Slocum with a strong inning does allow just the 1 hit. Phil's lead 6-2.
There's a new kind of energy around here. A company that can meet your energy needs well into the next century without building even 1 new plant, which means no large increase in the cost of your service. A company whose oil-fired generators will also run on natural gas. Another way to help keep your bill down. There's a new energy company around here and a new name. Pico Energy, focusing our energies on you.
While a lot of well-known tractor makers are working hard to
Make it cheaper. Yes, Chief.
Cub Cadet took a different approach for our new Series 2000 line. We didn't.
Use cheaper parts. Yes, Chief.
Instead, we built our tractors with shaft drive and over 50 new features in all 7 models for a well-engineered machine well within your budget. Cub Cadet didn't make a good tractor cheaper.
Now that's cheap. Yes, Chief.
We made the tractor better.
Chief, he'll buy it. Yes, Chief. Chief.
The Series 2000 line from Cub Cadet.
That you seemed really smart. He also said he thought you were really beautiful.
That's cool.
Yeah, I read black authors, you know. Wilt Chamberlain book changed my life.
Yo, it's a white man at the door.
Bye.
Tell her be home by midnight.
You have her back here by midnight.
Yeah.
Hey, they really need some volunteers for a great cause. Special Olympics of Philadelphia, their May games on Friday, May 6th and Saturday, May 7th at Northeast High School. Just call the number on your screen for more information to help the Special Olympians in their wonderful 2 days. It's 351-7224 to help out the Special Olympics. As Kip Batiste will lead things off for the Phils here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 1 for 3 on the night. He fouls one back. No balls and 2 strikes to Batiste. Kim in his third inning or his third start of the year is 1 for 3. There's a former Philly warming up in the Giants bullpen, Mike Jackson. 0-2 pitch doesn't miss by much from Dave Burba. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Burba's retired the first 3 he has faced. Came on in the 7th inning. Phils lead 6-2, bottom half of the 8th. I caught Manwaring on the right arm, right around the forearm it looked like. So now Rapuano and Manwaring can share war stories.
Catchers are tough. See the foul tip? Right up by the bicep.
Good pitch by Burba. Batiste goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Burba. Milt Thompson will bat for the first time here in the 8th. Phils lead 6-2. Quite a night for Mariano Duncan. He has 4 RBIs, 1 shy of his career high, including a 3-run home run. There's Milt's numbers on the season, hitting just a shade over 300. Fouls this one off. Well, despite the threatening weather tonight, good crowd on hand. Close to 31,000, 30,977 for the first game of 3.
Yeah, and that's how many came through the gates too. Oh no, wait a minute. Now it's tickets sold. That's right. Starting last year, because they didn't think there were that many people here tonight.
Still, a few people made it to the upper deck. Good crowd for the Giants. 2 more games with San Fran tomorrow night, 7:05. And if you're hooked on Prism, you can join us tomorrow night. And Sunday at 1:35.
How about the pitching matchups the rest of the way too? Good
Great
pitching the rest of this series.
John Burkett against Kurt Schilling. Bill Swift against Tommy Green. How about Schilling and Green coming into the end of April with an 0-for?
And Tommy Green has obviously only pitched twice so far. Schilling, according to the manager, has not been well this whole season, in his opinion, because he's either been sick or he had a bad foot. And they think both of them are about ready to. The manager thinks both these guys, Green and Schilling, are about ready to start pitching well. So does Johnny Padres. They have to for the Phillies to start to play well.
1-2 the count on Milt Thompson. Came on as a defensive replacement in the top half of this inning. He takes a pitch above his helmet, 2-2. Well, the Giants right now aren't exactly hitting the ball very well. It's a team that led the league in batting last year, and they're really struggling. 4 hits tonight. They've lost the first 2 games of this trip, 7-3 and 7-1. Here's a ball past Burba, but an easy play for Thompson, who comes in and makes it for the second out.
You wonder how their mindset is right now, too, with the division they're in, whether they subconsciously are affected by the fact that they don't have to play as well to win their division. Last year they knew they had to play very, very well to beat that Atlanta team. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't want to win, but they don't have to play anywhere near the level they did last year.
The urgency isn't quite there.
No, and probably won't be.
We're seeing what's happening in the other Western Division, where you're going to possibly have a sub-500 team win that division. Speaking of the AL West, as Dykstra takes one outside for a ball, 1-0.
Good night for Lenny. His last 2 at-bats have been very productive and really got the Phillies going offensively tonight, which is what he does.
Swing and a miss and a good breaking ball from Burba. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dykstra scoring 2 runs tonight, has scored 23 runs on the season in 22 games. So after a bit of a slow start in the runs scored department, Dykstra has picked it up plus some. He's now scored a run in 10 straight Phillies games. 1-1. As he fouls one back, it's 1-2. AL West, Seattle and Texas are tied for the lead. Both are 3 games under 500. Oakland has lost 10 in a row. They're 2.5 games back after losing 10 straight. You don't lose a lot of ground in that division. San Fran, meanwhile, if they lose tonight, they'll be at an even 500 and still be at least in a share for first with the Dodgers, even if LA wins their 4th in a row. 1-2 the count on Dykstra. The pitch is on the inside corner, called 3rd strike. Very solid 2 innings of relief by Dave Burba. His team needs 4 to tie in the 9th. We head to that inning with the score: Phil's 6, Giants 2.
The right car should be safe and dependable. The right car should have a V6 engine, front-wheel drive, and a driver's side airbag. It should be comfortable, and it should have room for 5 adults, a theft deterrent system, and keyless entry. But most of all, the right car should be easy to get into.
Lease a Maxima GXE with no down payment and $289 a month for 36 months.
The Phillies want to give a Lou a boo-boo and tell Walker to take a hike when Montreal comes to town. Monday, May 16th and Tuesday, May 17th at 7:35. And Wednesday, May 18th at 1:05 for a Fun in the Sun Business Person Special, compliments of Mellon PSFS. 3 big games against divisional rivals. Order your tickets now. Call 463-1000. That's 463-1000.
Hey, is that what I think it is? Yeah, it's my new Wagner Power Painter. Well, can you edge with it? Yeah, you can edge like this, or adjust it to control the paint up close. And when I'm done, I'm gonna switch nozzles and stain my deck. Do a lot of other jobs I've been meaning to do. Well, does it clean up easy? Yeah, it's quicker than you think. Why am I painting this by hand? Good question. Get a Wagner.
Budweiser scoreboard. Cubs are now 0-9 at home. Cincinnati looking to defeat Florida. If they do so, they'll have the best record in the National League because the Braves lost tonight. Montreal 3-1 over San Diego. Dodgers looking to tie the Giants in the NL West with a win. The Pirates defeating Atlanta. They have been a nemesis for the Braves. And St. Louis behind Todd Zeal's 3 RBIs, leading Houston. Inside for a ball to Dave Martinez, 1-0. American League scores. Texas and Cleveland tied at 4 in the 10th inning. Chopper towards John Kruk. The Phils are now 2 outs away from the victory. AL scoreboard. Detroit leads the White Sox 4-2 in the 9th. Rained out in Kansas City. Still a lot of rain in the Midwest, apparently. Toronto shutting out Minnesota. Yankees early on with Oakland. Boston in California. Baltimore in Seattle.
This is not a save situation. Doug Jones is just starting to loosen up very lightly in the Phillies right field bullpen, just in case. There's Doug Jones. The Phillies hope it does not get to the point where it would be a save situation, and just let Slocum finish this one out.
1 run too many for Heathcliff to pick up a save. You pick up a save if you start an inning and go at least 1 if you have a 3-run lead, but the Phils came into the 8th with a 4-run lead.
And if it had been a save situation, he probably would have used Jones in the 9th inning. Managers like to give those closers save situations, and it's really nice when they can hand them a 3-run lead save situation instead of one of those nasty ones.
That's the one save I don't like.
Yeah.
I think you have to be on deck, it seems, even if you go 1 inning. Anyhow, it's 1-1 to Royce Clayton.
Here's Fregosi, who was on the pregame show with us tonight, and all the questions about what's going on around here, and he says it could be solved very easily. Just win.
Phils must have listened.
Well, they played a very solid game tonight after a little bit of shakiness early.
There's a line drive. Clayton has his first hit of the night. He's been on base the last 3 times with a couple of walks and now a 1-out single here in the 9th.
But there's still 2 outs to go, and nothing has really come easy for this ball club this season.
Nothing's come real easy either for Kurt Manwaring this year. He's 0 for 3, including a line drive out his first time up, a line drive that just missed the line his last time up. And he has seen his 94 average dip to 161. He fouls one out of play.
Jeff Reed, Todd, has moved into the on-deck circle to bat for the pitcher Burba. He's a left-handed hitter, a catcher.
Heathcliff Slocum trying to close it out for the Phils. Start this homestand with a W. Phils lead at 6-2. Another foul out of play, and Slocum ahead, 0-2.
Wearing out that upper deck on the right side with these foul balls.
Manwaring holds off. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
See Manwaring tell himself to stay off that. Then when he put his hand, don't chase that. Kruk can play off the base runner in this situation.
Clayton ran a lot his last time on, but not in the 9th. This could be 2, but it takes a tough short hop on Batiste, who throws it away. I'll be 1st and 3rd on what should have been an easy play at first base for Kim Batiste.
Just said they played a solid game, and then Kim Batiste makes a foolish play there, and he knows it. You know, when you have a big lead in a game, just take it out. That's all. As you said, the play is the first base. He has very little chance to get the runner at second, so you forget about it.
It looked like you thought about first, too, and then he changed his mind.
He has a catcher running there. I mean, there's no sense in that play, and he's well aware of it. And all you do now is give the Giants life and come to the top of their order after the pinch hitter.
That pinch hitter will be Jeff Reed. Now all of a sudden the tying run is on deck, so Heathcliff Slocum needs to get the pinch hitter Reed here. Jeff Reed pinch hitting for Dave Burba. Reed on the season as a pinch hitter is 0 for 3. Giants now with runners on the corners and 1 out. Ground ball, backhanded nicely by Kruk with a slide and a nice run to the bag for the second out of the inning. Clayton scores. It's now 6-3, but more importantly, the Phils get out number 2 here in the 9th.
I don't know whether Kruk thought Slocum was there or not, but he decides he's going to take it himself. He knows it's a catcher running, figures he can outrun him to the bag, and he just did get Reed. It appeared that Slocum was there, and Kruk just decided to take it himself. Nice play by John Kruk.
So now the Phils 1 out away. It's a 6-3 ball game. And Darren Lewis will be the batter. 18-minute rain delay in the top half of the first inning. Ben Rivera was strong after that. 7 innings of 2-run baseball. Heathcliff Slocum now trying to close things out. Has allowed an unearned run here in the 9th. Trying to get Darren Lewis. Ground ball right side. This should be it. Mariano Duncan to John Kruk, and the Phillies win it 6-3. Ben Rivera gets the win. Heathcliff Slocum closes the deal. And the Phillies start this 6-game homestand with a victory over the National League West leading San Francisco Giants. We'll come back with the details and wrap up. Phillies